The perfect Depeche Mode album is Violator. I will not be taking questions at this time.
No questions?
And I kind of agree with it. I think it might be. That's just me, though. All right, Big Boy News and Opinioendo now, brought to you by...
Cold and flu season is here. Boost your immunity now with Prime IV Riverwoods. Get a hydration drip, vitamin C with zinc, and B12 drip for just $79 introductory offer. Or maybe you'll win one from us right now. Text the word PRIME, Prime, PRIME to 33986 for your chance to win an immunity armor drip from Prime IV Riverwoods.
Thank you.
Well. We learned this week, I guess, or last week, there was a little story about The Simpsons is the most watched Disney Plus.
On Disney Plus, it is the most watched thing.
Fox has announced that they have renewed The Simpsons yet again for its 34th season. The season 34 season 34 finale is slated to air in May, and that will serve up the 750th episode. And The Simpsons will pass the 800 episode milestone with their contract extension.
Wow.
Now, all of the episodes are available on Disney Plus. Are there any that they have taken out for any reason that we know of? Are they all available?
I thought I read one, or a segment of one was not available.
That they took out
I could be wrong.
Controversial reasons of some sort?
Let me see.
I'm just kind of curious. It doesn't. Although
there's a setting on your Disney Plus that you can have, for adults or for kids.
Here's one.
Okay.
Which one?
Missing episode 12, first broadcast in 2005, happens to be the one where Homer takes his family to China and they visit Tiananmen Square. They come across a placard that reads, "On this site in 1989, nothing happened."
Yeah. It's because Disney Plus is in China. And
the Chinese don't like that.
Chinese don't like that.
The Chinese government doesn't like it.
Yes.
You don't like being reminded of bad things that happened in your history? That's not just here.
Nope. Surprise.
That's why we're so like China. And this is good news for a lot of people. Wallace and Gromit.
Yes.
They haven't been around for a while. They're going to do a new Netflix movie. And a lot of people will be very happy about that. I like Wallace and Gromit a lot. The most streamed TV shows and movies of 2022.
Okay.
Not a huge surprise, really, but so number one, Stranger Things. Number two, NCIS on Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, this one, I don't know what this is.
Okay.
CoComelon?
Oh, I've heard of that.
What's CoComelon? It's on Netflix. That's number three.
Damn it.
I don't know what it is. Number four, Ozark. Then Encanto, Grey's Anatomy, various episodes of Criminal Minds, Bluey on Disney Plus, Gilmore Girls on Netflix, Seinfeld on Netflix, Supernatural Netflix. Wednesday is in the top 15.
It's huge.
Heartland and Cobra Kai, and number 15, The Simpsons.
Look at Encanto there, number 5. That was a movie that Disney did not have any faith in. It was a throwaway.
Yeah.
And it's huge.
And people loved it.
It's delightful.
5 former Memphis police officers have been charged with second-degree murder and other crimes in the arrest and death of Tyree Nichols, a black motorist who died 3 days after a confrontation with officers during a traffic stop. Shelby County Sheriff's Office online records show that Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Desmond Mills, Emmett Martin, and Justin Smith, the cops, all in custody. All 5 are charged with second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, official misconduct, official oppression. The video footage of this arrest has not been made public yet, but it will
today,
be made public.
Later today.
But it must be awful.
It is.
Because the police, government officials, they didn't waste any time arresting these guys and saying, this is beyond the pale.
And the family is saying, please, when you see this, don't respond with violence.
It'll make you angry,
It's going
but
to
don't.
make you angry,
Okay.
but I can't imagine what this shows.
Well, the Memphis police chief called the actions of the 5 officers, based on looking at the video, heinous, reckless, and inhumane. And he also made, of course, a plea to residents to protest. Yes, go ahead and protest, but please, let's be peaceful about it. This is not just a professional failing. This is a failing of basic humanity toward another individual, said the director of police operations, C.J. Davis. So it's going to be. I don't think I could watch it. But
No.
3 people are in custody after Taylorsville High School was placed on lockdown Thursday afternoon, along with other schools in the area, because there were gunshots fired in the school parking lot.
Really?
Taylorsville police responded at about 12:30 p.m. to reports of shots fired at the high school. Quickly said the scene was no longer active, though. Police believe there was an altercation between students in the parking lot, and a gun casing was found. I guess that a bullet casing. Police later said they weren't sure if the people involved in the altercation attended the school or lived in the neighborhood, but they did confirm at least 1 round was fired. 3 people are now in custody, potentially 3 other suspects remaining at large. No injuries following that incident, though. There's also controversy about some other police video that's going to be released today, I think. The attack of on Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi. The courts in San Francisco ruled that because the video was used in pre-trial hearings and things for the guy who committed the assault on Paul Pelosi, because it was shown in court, it should be made public. And people are in the Democratic Party are very wary about this happening, because they fear that unscrupulous individuals will manipulate this video footage.
They will.
To make it look like something it isn't.
Oh, count on it happening.
And
It is going to happen.
David DePape is accused of assault and attempted murder and other federal crimes. He has pleaded not guilty, according to the Associated Press. DePape's defense attorney argued that releasing the footage to the public would deprive their client of a fair trial, but the court judge, Stephen Murphy, was not persuaded by that argument and said the footage has already been presented in court. It should be
It's
made
out
public.
there, yeah.
But I think Paul Pelosi must be a badass. This guy's 80 years old, or just over 80
Hit in the
years
head with
old.
a hammer.
He was, apparently the video shows him waking up as somebody breaks into his house.
He's asleep.
And he was asleep, and he gets clobbered, and he's out cold. But he comes to and starts fighting with the attacker.
Wow.
And is in the process of still fighting with him when the police come in to the scene. And I'm just amazed that they didn't shoot the guy. There must be a reason that it must have been too dangerous.
If they were in tussling, you don't
Yeah.
want to shoot at them. Or,
Yeah. But fighting a guy, 82 years old, and he's fighting this guy.
But apparently he's got some permanent damage from
He
it.
does. He won't be. Yeah. He won't be the same.
After an emotional debate, the House of Representatives here in Utah voted 58-14 in support of a bill that would put a moratorium on hormone treatments and ban gender affirmation surgeries
Medical care?
for transgender youth.
Oh.
Quote, "For me as a mother and a grandmother and as a nurse, I have a vested interest, as all of us do, in the health and well-being of Utah's children," said Representative Katie Hall of South Ogden. She sponsored that bill, and she cried while she was talking. The bill was substituted on Thursday to remove a sunset date on the moratorium and allow a child that changes their mind about treatment to turn around and sue a health care provider. It would also have an immediate effective date upon signature of the governor. When these medical providers fail to do their due diligence, this substitution allows the minor to withdraw their consent and bring a civil suit against the health care provider for harm done. This is never going to fly. In the long run, this will be adjudicated in court, and I can't imagine that it won't be found unconstitutional, because it singles out it's targeting one small segment of the population, and it's unconscionable. And cruel.
It's what the Republicans do. They keep you distracted with things like this.
Well, it works.
And it works.
It works
every time.
Because these are issues that we can't ignore. We can't ignore this kind of bull. You can't ignore it.
No.
But I don't think it'll in the long run. It's got to be thrown out.
But who's hurt in the interim while we're waiting for that?
There's one refinery here in Utah responsible to up to 25% of all of the pollution.
What could go wrong?
It's MagCor.
Yeah.
MagCor, and they've been doing this for years, but U.S. Magnesium said that they're on the southwestern shore of the Great Salt Lake. It is the nation's largest producer of magnesium compounds, which they take out of the brine in the Great Salt Lake. And they are responsible for 25% of that crap you see in the air. And they've tried to shut it down, and it's just never taken. The MagCor says that we do everything possible to mitigate what comes out of those stacks, but
no, you're not.
It's not working. Let's see. This is a heartbreaking story. An animal shelter is hoping social media will help them find the owner of a dog that was abandoned with a note attached to his collar.
What?
The note was posted by the McCamey Animal Shelter along with a photo of the dog, Lilo, and it says the owner could no longer care for the dog. It's a handwritten note, and it says, "Please love me. My mom can't keep me and is homeless with 2 kids. She really loves me, and I'm a great dog,
Aww.
and I love to be loved on."
Oh.
And the poor dog just looks so sad. We want you to know that the dog is safe. The animal shelter is saying to whoever the woman is that left the note. Just what a horrible situation all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
Conjoined twins were separated in surgery at a Texas hospital. 25 medical professionals successfully separated the conjoined twin sisters. Amy Lynn Rose and Jamie Lynn Ray Finley were joined at the abdomen, and they shared a liver, according to the Cook Children's Medical Center.
Oh, you can cut that in half.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, that's one of those organs you can cut in half.
Yeah, you can take pieces of it and
That's
here,
all right.
I don't need this part of it.
If you're going to be joined at anything, the liver is a good.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
Yeah.
Do livers? I can't remember. You can cut parts of them off and
regenerate.
But do they regenerate?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then finally, this story, this is a reminder to me. I've got to get my medical marijuana card renewed. It's about to expire.
Mm-hmm.
A new study from researchers at East Carolina University and North Carolina State University have found that smoking weed makes people orgasm harder.
Wow.
Yeah. Scientists have been trying to figure out how getting high and how people changes how people perform in bed. A survey found that 2/3 of participants reported better sex when weed was involved. More recent studies have examined how getting high before sex makes the experience better for some people, worse for some others. Other studies have found that cannabis increases libido, raises the odds for a better orgasm. So if weed makes people orgasm harder, and my card expires in February.
I'm thinking sativa, not indica.
I'm not sure.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure.
It doesn't say here whether.
All right, sports, weather, traffic.
Well, there's grown-ups coming to town for the NBA All-Star Game weekend.
Oh.
So we have to pretend we're grown-ups.
So we have to
while they're
treat them
here.
like grown-ups
Yeah.
instead of the people that live here. I see.
Why?
Okay.
What are you saying, Tina?
This is an article in the Tribune written by our friend Sean Means. The state of Utah will open a new liquor store within the Salt Palace Convention Center for 3 days only during the NBA All-Star Game weekend. Utah Department of Alcoholic Beverage Services Commission Thursday unanimously approved a pop-up liquor store which will operate February 16th to the 18th, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. by the Salt Palace East entrance. It's we have people coming to town. We'll pretend we're.
What are those,
we're a big
Gina?
city.
What are those dates again?
The 16th through the 18th.
Of February?
Uh-huh.
16th through the 18th? Oh, that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay.
Ah, good. Well, let's swing
Not
over.
Sunday.
Buy some vodka.
Let's see. You've got the big football this weekend. You've got the 49ers and the Eagles on Sunday at 1 o'clock, and then the Bengals and the Chiefs at 4:30. I'm hoping for a Chiefs-49ers Super Bowl, but
Those are on Sunday,
Yeah.
those two games?
yeah,
You're hoping for a Chiefs 49ers.
but
Very important sports, who will be here on Monday, will tell you it's going to be Cleveland and the Jets, did he say?
the Eagles.
No.
The Eagles. I knew it was green.
Yeah. Very good, Carrie. You know that it's green.
And that the Bengals will win.
They're looking pretty good, these Bengals, but
Yep.
I'm still rooting for the Chiefs
I'm
and 49ers.
rooting for the 49ers.
The Chiefs are favored in that game by 1 point.
All right.
Weather, 50% chance of snow today, and we're still cold. It's as warm as it's going to get today, about 35 for a high. Then we have 40% chance of snow overnight tonight into Saturday. Sunday looks like 70% chance of snow. So off and on, we're going to be dealing with this all weekend long. A little bit of snow folks are dealing with on the roads. We've got snow coming down in Ogden, blanketing some streets. Harrison Boulevard between 12th and 24th Streets looks like there's snow on the roads there. Police activity at the corner of 3rd West South Temple, blocking the right lane, both northbound and eastbound. Snow coming down heavier in Sardine Canyon. Use caution if you're commuting between Logan and Brigham City, both directions. You'll have winter driving conditions there. Summit of Parley's Canyon looks like there's a lot of spray kicking up from tires on I-80. No accidents being reported, though. You can report if you see something or animals running loose. 33986 is where you do that. Downtown Winter Market is open Saturdays at the Gateway from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Shop fresh produce, meats, unique gift ideas in the craft market. More information at slcfarmersmarket.org.
All right. Thank you very much. We will take a break. We'll be back. Sean Means reviewing movies right after these. KXRK Provo. Join us for...
Sitting here in my room with Dean Cardinal, Worldwide Trekking, and a man who's become a good friend, Geljan Sherpa, and we're sitting here talking to you on a cell phone, essentially, which is amazing to me that you can do this where we are. Let me try to describe this. We are actually in a really remote part of the world. You can helicopter in here, but it's horribly expensive, and people don't do it much. People walk to get to these places, and they walk for days and days. There are people who live way up in the Khumbu, and they come down here. Kind of the Namche Bazaar is, would you say it's a halfway point between here and Lukla?
Yeah, and it's a trading spot between the valley and Tibet, and a place where people come together for the Saturday market to trade goods, to buy goods, and everything else.
And so people walk for a long time to get to these places, and people walk. They'll walk from very remote places up by Everest, and they'll come down here to trade, as Dean said. But what's really unusual is that people have cell phones everywhere. It's just stunning in its incongruity. It's just incredible. You'll be walking. I'll be puffing my way up a trail, and some Sherpa kid will be, carrying a big heavy load of stuff and talking on a cell phone. It's just an amazing thing to see. I should describe a little bit. I don't think I described very well. Coming into Namche Bazaar, there are these giant prayer wheels in houses. I'd forgotten about this, and I asked our friend here, Geljan, what those were, and he said the river used to run under those prayer wheels and turn the prayer wheels, but the river has been kind of diverted. I don't know why, but they turn the prayer wheels anymore. So yeah, so it's just such a world of contrast here, and you'll see all of these Sherpa kids wearing kind of American, westernized-looking clothes, and talking on cell phones. But then they're also very into their culture. And I just want you to tell people really quickly, Geljan, what you call your son. What's your nickname for your son?
My son nickname is Chicken Head.
Chicken Head. Geljan. You see, Geljan is like fathers everywhere. His son, Pasang, right? Pasang has a kind of a weird hairdo with it kind of sticks up, and he's dyed it a kind of a red color, and so his father, being like fathers everywhere, doesn't like it, so he calls him Chicken Head. anyway, we'll have more from Namche Bazaar. I'm Bill Allred, heading for Tibet. Tibet? No, not Tibet.
Yeah, you have to wait.
I always forget that that's still on the air, you know?
Oh, it's still hilarious. All right, we do have Sean Means Movies brought to you by.
Brought to you by this Valentine's Day. Don't stress what your sweetheart wants. Lim Jewelers knows diamond stud earrings are 25% off through Valentine's Day. Lim Jewelers, Midvale, and limjewelers.com.
All right, thank you. Moviecricket.net.
Don Patrick Means, he's the culture editor
Yes.
for the Salt Lake Tribune, and you've got a story in the paper today, right?
Do I?
About the liquor store?
I lose track.
SLTrib.com,
yes, the pop-up liquor store
Yeah.
that is going to open in the Salt Palace during the All-Star break.
We have to service the adults while they're here.
Yes.
SLTrib.com.
Things we do for
Sean.
company that we don't do for ourselves.
Yes.
And Sean is also a fine movie reviewer. Moviecricket.net is where you find that stuff. So you only one movie you're going to talk about?
I've only seen one in whitish release this week. Between Sundance and the day job, which included going to the DABS meeting yesterday, I've been kind of busy. So we'll talk about this one. It's remarkably good, and then we'll get into Sundance.
Well, it's Bill Nighy.
Bill Nighy.
You know.
This is Living is the name of it. Bill Nighy, great British actor. Unfortunately, most of you would, if you know him from anything, it's from
Love Actually.
Well, there's Love Actually,
Shaun of the Dead.
Love Actually, Shaun of the Dead, and he's Rufus Scrimgeour in the late Harry Potter movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, it's a quiet role. This one is. He plays a civil servant bureaucrat in London around 1950. He's in the public works department, and it seems all that's good for is shuffling papers around and sending people on a round robin to the other department. It's like, oh no, you want to go to the parks department, and the parks department says no, you want to go here, and then there's this group of poor women who like are doing laps around the British, the city government at one point, and he's been doing this for years, and the junior clerks, in his department, they all seem ready that that it's just going to keep on keeping on like this forever.
Yeah.
Then his character Williams is told by his doctor that he has 6 months to live.
Ah. Okay.
Terminal cancer, and so he reacts in a couple different ways. First he flees off to the shore to go to like Brighton or whatever the coastal city and just get away from everything. And then he comes back and he spends the day with a pretty young woman who used to work in the parks department, who sort of gives him the impetus to go back to work, and maybe he can do something with his final time.
Okay.
And anybody who's like a real hardcore art house movie buff will recognize this story. It was a Kurosawa movie in the 50s called Ikiru. And it's a really good adaptation here. The screenwriter is Kazuo Ishiguro, who's the novelist who wrote The Remains of the Day, and it's a really beautifully adapted story. And Naihi is amazing. That's the easiest thing I will ever say in a movie review ever. He is just so good in this.
He's a well-deserved Oscar nominee.
He got an Oscar nomination for Best Actor, and Ishiguro got the adapted screenplay nomination.
Oh,
and it was both very, very deserving nominations.
Okay.
Now he captures this quiet resignation of the civil servant, and then the sort of resolve that builds when he knows he's got nothing to lose. 3.5 stars.
3.5.
Cool.
It's at the Broadway, and it's at some of the Megaplex theaters. So
All
live it.
right. Thank you. Well, let's talk Sundance then.
Okay.
Sundance. Did you see Infinity Pool?
I missed out on that. I decided I didn't want to see the 14th version of Parts of the Clonus Horror. And I did that joke just for Carrie.
Yes, and thank
Well,
you.
that's kind of prejudging, isn't it, Sean?
I think you knew what you were getting into with Infinity Pool.
Well, you know what you're getting into.
I just read a great review of it in the New York Times.
You know what you're getting into with Brandon Cronenberg.
Exactly.
He had a movie here a couple years ago called Possessor that was really cool and really weird. Had Andrea Riseborough, who is also an Oscar nominee now. I've seen 18 films. The majority of them at home, between pre-screenings that publicists sent me and stuff I've watched on the Sundance online portal.
Really?
So what's the best thing you've seen?
The best thing I've seen, probably the one that probably is a documentary. It's called The Disappearance of Cher Height.
Oh.
And for people, for older people, they remember Cher Height as the sexologist, the sex researcher who wrote the Height Report. In the 70s.
Yeah.
And did thousands of surveys with women about what they like in their sex life, and the answer was not what they're getting.
Not what they're getting.
You're doing it wrong.
You need to do it here.
Right, and it made her famous. It got great controversy, great buzz, and so on. Then her second book, she surveyed men about what they were getting and what they were doing, and you would have thought they had shot JFK all over again. It was people just reacted so badly. There are some hilarious clips of her on various talk shows. There's one where she's on Mike Douglas and Hasselhoff is sitting next to her, and at one point Hasselhoff decides he's going to weigh in.
Oh no,
That doesn't go well.
of course it doesn't.
Well, come on. The Hoff knows everything about sex.
Apparently not.
There's a lot of interviews that are basically me and my 7,000 surveys versus me and my dudes.
Yeah. Wow.
So because she did that about men, it ruined her career?
It didn't. A lot of things happened. She got very weird with some of the talk shows and so on, and essentially because she was trying to say these sort of truths that nobody wanted to talk about, she got hounded out of America. She exiled to Europe, and
Oh, really?
And she's fallen down the memory hole. I mean,
Yeah.
she should be somebody we talk about in the terms of the sexual revolution, we don't.
Yeah, I only recognize the name because of a Mad Magazine parody. That's my frame of reference.
Right.
I mean,
Right, but I mean, and people discounted her because she was gorgeous. She was really good looking.
yeah.
She modeled her way to get through school. And
Well, she can't possibly be smart.
exactly, and that was the
part of
talk.
the deal, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a great documentary. It's NBC Studios made it. So
we'll be seeing it.
NBC News Studios. So it'll be showing up on like MSNBC or something
What's
in a
it
few months.
called again?
The Disappearance of Cher Height.
Okay.
All right.
So
What else?
what else?
What do you think?
I saw one yesterday that was kind of fun called the Persian Version. This is a filmmaker named Mariam Keshavars, who is Iranian-born, very American, and this is sort of this is semi-autobiographical, basically about her and her mother and her grandmother and sort of 3 generations of Iranian women and the sort of culture clashes that result. Because the young woman is mid-20s, lesbian,
Modern,
rebelling, modern, all this. And mom is like superhero, businesswoman, very, very prim, very proper. And then grandma is at the age where she just doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
She's like, we did. Your parents didn't actually leave because of becoming a doctor in America. They left because of the scandal. And like, so suddenly she's like, the daughter's like, the scandal?
The scandal. And then we find out what the scandal is.
Yep.
All right.
So I like that one a lot. Plan C, great documentary about the organizations trying to arrange to have abortion pills sent to people who need them.
Oh.
Completely legal. It is a very legal product in most states, and mailing it and shipping it is also very legal. But having to dodge the various laws as they change, especially after the Dobbs ruling. This movie's like it's a documentary, but it plays like a thriller. It's really fascinating.
Did you see the Supreme Court Justice doc?
Yes.
Brett Kavanaugh thing.
The one night only screening last Friday.
Yeah.
It was pretty fascinating, and it opens up a lot of new information, but it also reminds you that there's not really a lot that can be done about this. He's there for
Brett
life.
Kavanaugh.
There's no way to get
And
it.
he's not old. He will be there for a long time.
What does the documentary say about him?
That there are more cases than Christine Blasey Ford.
Yeah. And
More women involved.
And nobody followed up on that tip line.
And the FBI tip line thing was all crap.
And we're finding out, this week that the FBI was infiltrated by some bad actors, and
Yeah.
So, yeah.
When are the awards for?
Yes.
At 11 o'clock this morning.
Okay.
Oh, good.
So follow me on Twitter.
Yes.
Sean P. Means. And we will be doing that and having our story. My colleague, our culture reporter, Palak Jaiswal, it's her first festival. She's been doing amazing work.
Oh, good.
So read all that, too.
All right. Thank you, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
All right. Moviecrickets.net or follow Sean on Twitter. What's your Twitter?
Sean P. Means.
Sean P. Means. You get those Sundance Awards as they happen. Traffic.
Crash northbound I-15 at 24th Street. This is up in Weber County where they're seeing snow coming down. Far west, looks like they've got some snow-covered roads. Also downtown Ogden, Harrison Boulevard, snow-covered roads. We do have some of that here in Salt Lake as well. Police activity at the corner of 3rd West South Temple blocking the right lane northbound and eastbound. And let's see, front of the program says there's a crash northbound I-15 in Ogden before the 21st Street exit on the right shoulder. Thank you, whoever sent that in at 33986. If it's safe for you to text and let us know what you're seeing out there, we appreciate it when you do that. Haster Games will be holding a special pre-release event for the Magic set Phyrexia. All will be won February 3rd and 4th. You may pre-register in the store or online at hastergames.com.
All right. Boners?
Oh, yeah. Yes, we do have them. Let me just pull them up here. I forgot. Boners coming up. We will have Boner Kid. I'm not sure what order they're in. I didn't look, but it's probably this order. Your kitty's name is offensive, and you must change it. The next one, well, if you love me. And then another example of how dumb legislators can be.
All right. Boner of the day, big boy news, all coming up after the standby. Join us for a weekend of...
rejected a warning by top Arizona utility officials that Arizona's going to cut off power to L.A.
Yeah, this could be a boner.
to Los Angeles if the city proceeds with its boycott of all things Arizona. The mayor on Wednesday defiantly rejected a warning by top Arizona utilities officials that the state could cut off power to Los Angeles should the city proceed with its boycott. Spokesman Dave Beltran told Fox News that the message didn't even warrant a response. We're not going to respond to threats from a state that has isolated itself from America that values freedom, liberty, and basic human rights, Beltran said. That was after Gary Pierce, a commissioner of the 5-member Arizona Corporation Commission, wrote a letter to Villagarosa. I can't say his name. It's Villaragosa.
Just mangle it.
Slamming his city council's decision to boycott the Grand Canyon State in protest of its immigration law by suspending official travel there and ending future contracts with state businesses. Noting that a quarter of Los Angeles' electricity comes from Arizona power plants, Pierce threatened to pull the plug if the city council does not reconsider. Doggone it! If you're going to boycott this candy store, then don't come in for any of it, Pierce told Fox News. Well, I'm sure that they'll do that. I am sure that Arizona, as a matter of fact, if I were California, I'd say, go ahead. Go ahead.
Shut it off.
Go ahead. Put up or shut up.
You already look bad, Arizona. Do that and look worse.
They're not going to do it, is the point.
No.
They would never do it. They can't do it. We're going to cut off your power. Uh-huh. Okay, fine. Do it.
It's often said that the people of Utah speak a language all their own. It's a language that's often confusing and even incomprehensible to newcomers here in the Beehive State. So, Radio from Hell presents a handy guide to help everyone understand how the natives speak. It's the Utah word of the day. And today's word is...
Gel. G-E-L, gel. And now to use the word in a sentence, LeVar and LeGrand are here to show you how Utahns speak. Listen carefully for the word gel. Our word today was supplied by a famed Utah attorney who has undoubtedly heard this word used more times in his life than he cares to remember. The word again is gel.
Hey, LeGrand, how's tricks?
What? How's what?
Tricks. You know, things. How's things? How's it going with you? How's tricks?
Oh. How's it going? I got you. How's it going?
I asked you first.
What?
How it's going, that's what. I just asked how's it going, then you... Never mind. What's wrong with you?
Well, sure. I mean, no doubt I'm just fine. I'm a little distracted, maybe. Who wants to know?
Never mind. What's got you so distracted, LeGrand?
Well, I was speaking on the phone with my uncle down to Moab. My Uncle LeGrand.
I'm LeVar, you're LeGrand. That's the...
So's my uncle.
Huh?
Yeah, LeGrand Peterson. He owns a small gravel pit down to Moab.
Wait a second. Ain't you LeGrand Peterson?
No, I'm LeGrand Peterson. He's Peter S-E-N, I'm Peter S-O-N.
Well, hell, that's confusing.
Not to us. But anywho, he wants me to come down to Moab, help him catch some appliance dumpers.
Some what?
Someone has been dumping old appliances into his gravel pit.
Oh.
And he can't catch them. There's like 10 old fridges there and more every couple of days. So my uncle, LeGrand, will have to pay to have them all hauled away. And that's going to get expensive. But if he can catch who's doing it, maybe he can get reimbursed. And if not, well, he's just going to have them thrown in jail.
I guess illegal dumping can get you jail time.
It's jailable, all right. So long as the jails down there ain't full.
Yep.
Yeah. But I got a few things to take care of first. Hey, LeVar, I just noticed your hair looks kind of different. You using some kind of junk in it?
Yes, my wife made me try it. It's some kind of new hair gel.
Join us again some other time as we examine how the Utah natives speak with the Utah Word of the Day.
Me fame.
Of the what?
Does that work?
No.
The
Does
what?
not work. Two Boy Army was his band before he went solo.
Oh, I had no idea.
See, that's why. That's why
It
I
doesn't
said
work.
Kyle
of
Brown
fame.
would know that.
That's a joke for people like Kyle. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Let's see. 7:26. Time for Boner of the Day. 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, funny human behavior. You will decide with your vote. Of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst? Which one deserves to be Boner of the Day for today, January 27, 2023? Give you 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
I can't buy it. Gotta win it. Radio from Hell boner T-shirt.
Boner candidate number 1. Your kitty's name is offensive and you must change it. Choosing a pet's name isn't always easy because there's so many options out there. While some owners opt for names with a personal meaning behind them, others seek inspiration from their favorite books or television shows or movies. But one pet owner has come under fire with her neighbors after naming her cat after a character in an urban fantasy television series. She explained how she named her 2-year-old cat Lucifer after getting hooked on the show, which stars Tom Ellis as Lucifer.
Yes. Love the show.
The woman said, I had recently moved into an apartment with my boyfriend and my 2-year-old black cat, Lucifer. Despite naming him Lucifer, we also just called him Lucy or Lulu.
Okay.
They very seldom referred to the cat as Lucifer. It's just usually Lulu or Lucy. Well, some of the friendly neighbors visited our place with gifts as a welcome gesture, and it didn't take long for us to know that one 7-year-old in the neighborhood is also named Lucy. After hearing about them moving into the area, the 7-year-old's mother, who has yet to introduce herself to the couple, marched round to their house and to order them to change their pet's name.
Jeez.
The mother, who did not visit our place before and probably heard from the other neighbors, has been knocking on our door and asking us to change the name of our cat.
What?
She wants us to change it because they are Christians, and linking my cat named Lucifer, which also we nickname Lucy, linking that to her daughter is offensive.
He bears a birthmark, a sequence of 6s.
Shocked by her request, the woman quickly shot her down, saying, I'm not going to change my cat's name at all.
Yeah.
That's a
And the
ridiculous
neighbor-
ask.
The neighbor became so upset by that the woman's boyfriend said, maybe we ought to change the name of the cat because the neighbor's getting threatening about it. And she says, no, we're not changing it.
Good.
What's wrong with people?
Your kitty's name is offensive, and you must change it.
Rise from the dead in the name of Satan.
There we go.
Boner candidate number 1. Here's boner candidate number 2. If you love me. A Florida woman was arrested Wednesday for orchestrating a years-long romance scam that defrauded an 87-year-old Holocaust survivor.
Oh, jeez. Boo.
A woman named Peaches Sturgo. Peaches Sturgo.
You don't trust women named Peaches?
That name is offensive. She better change it. She began her alleged scheme. Well, not alleged, she did it, in May of 2017 and bilked the victim out of $2.8 million over the next 4 years. Peaches Sturgo, met the victim on a dating website and eventually asked him to borrow money to pay her lawyer, who she claimed was refusing to release funds from an injury settlement. After the victim gave her the money, Sturgo said that the settlement funds had been deposited into her bank account. In reality, bank records show Sturgo never received any money from an injury settlement. The alleged lies continued over the next 4 years. Sturgo is charged with 1 count of wire fraud, maximum 20 years in prison. As she bilked this poor old guy out of $2.8 million, she just lived a life of luxury, buying expensive cars and jewelry, while this 87-year-old Holocaust survivor lived alone in an apartment with, and the money he'll never get it back.
Boo, Peaches.
Peaches.
Boner candidate number 2. If you love me.
Back to candidate number 1, someone points out that the cat in Cinderella, in Disney's cartoon Cinderella, is named Lucifer.
Yeah. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. Another example of how dumb legislators can be.
Yes, we need another one. Boner candidate number 3 coming up after this. Big Boy News and Opinioendo brought to you by...
Become a nurse in just 32 months at Nightingale College, blending online classes with on-ground supervised field experience, virtual college, actual nursing. Start your nursing journey at nightingale.edu, now accepting enrollment for summer semester.
Gerard Butler revealed a terrifying moment he had when working with Hilary Swank while making a 2007 romantic comedy called P.S. I Love You. I think the terrifying moment was they realized no one saw the movie. While the star of the new movie Plane was chatting with Drew Barrymore about his career on the Drew Barrymore show, the rom-com came up, and he revealed that although he had a blast working with Hilary Swank, he almost killed her.
Well, what did he do that for?
In a scene, Butler was supposed to snap his suspenders so hard that it causes the clip attached to his shamrock boxers to go flying. In the finished version of the movie, the clip hits him in the face. The camera people had plastic fronts to protect themselves from this clip because it was pretty dangerous. I had to ping it, and it would go past my face. I'm crawling towards the bed. It gets stuck. It releases, flies over my head, and it hit Hilary Swank right in the eye. She had to be taken to the hospital. In 3 seconds, everybody's gone, and I'm just sitting there in my boxer shorts and a pair of boots and socks, and he said, I was so upset, I started crying because I thought, I've killed Hilary Swank. As it turned out, she was okay, and they have since laughed it off. But
I have seen him. He's been interviewed a lot because this movie just came out.
Yeah.
In another interview, I heard him talking about how he saved a kid's life, and he won some hero award. He was at a resort, some resort hotel in Scotland, and he said, I heard somebody yelling for help in the river, and he said, I looked around and nobody, and he ran out and...
All right,
You don't
pal.
believe it?
We're getting into some George Santos territory here, all right?
He won some Scotland Hero Award.
I think we learned from an episode of Frank Crisp Presents, Gerard Butler was actually trained as a lawyer. He has a law degree.
Gerard Butler for the defense.
Jimmy Kimmel is talking about Snoop Dogg being on his show and about the list of demands that Snoop makes when he came on the show.
Oh, I'm curious.
Snoop said, Kimmel, who worked with Snoop on Thursday, revealed the requests on the rapper's hospitality rider, a list of items that he wanted in his dressing room. It says chicken wings from either Hot Wing Cafe or Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, any brand of fruit punch, Country Time lemonade, Moet Chandon champagne, and Donald Duck brand orange juice.
Donald Duck brand orange juice.
Specifically,
If you're going to have orange juice.
Yeah. Also, a bag of regular Doritos, a small bag of flavored Doritos, a 6-pack of cranberry juice, 1 gallon of Minute Maid fruit punch, and 1 snack item labeled important, a bag of honey barbecue Fritos chips. Kimmel said to Snoop, "You know you're only here for an hour, right?"
No.
And Snoop said, "Well, you got to look at it this way, Jimmy. Every opportunity to do a television show is like a shopping spree. I get a chance to get some free groceries." A bill that would give raises to teachers across Utah, but also create a controversial school choice scholarship program, passed the legislature yesterday and is now headed to Governor Spencer Cox, who said he'll sign it. It passed the Utah Senate on a 20-8 vote. 2 Republicans joined Democrats in opposing it. Asked about the bill and another one dealing with transgender youth, Governor Cox told Fox 13 he was not planning to veto either of them. We'll see if there are any changes made, but right now we're not planning to veto either of them.
Boo.
Asked if he was confident or if he was comfortable with the bills as they're written now, the governor said, "Well, they're not perfect, but they don't let me write the bills." Because, he could write them perfectly.
Yeah, I'm sure. You'd send him to a think tank and have them written for you.
Yeah. So it looks as though school vouchers, and and apparently the bill is written in such a way that it's not, you can't recall it. I suppose it can be litigated at court.
I can't imagine how it won't be, because this is government tax money going to religious organizations.
Other states do it. There are other states who have similar legislation, and
if I were Kerry Jackson, who doesn't have kids, does Kerry get to decide where his tax dollars go? I don't think so.
Well, let me check. I'll check on that. Maybe he does.
I'd be sending all of your kids to military school. What I'd be doing.
When Halloween falls on a school night, do Utahns celebrate the day or save the trick-or-treating for the weekend? A Sandy state senator hopes to squash the annual neighborhood debate by creating a permanent date to celebrate Halloween. Daybreak has a reputation for going above and beyond with their holiday decorations, Halloween decorations. Hundreds flock to Daybreak every October to drive by homes inspired by Netflix's Stranger Things or Disney's Encanto. It's apparently Daybreak is like Halloween Town these days in October. But they're still going after this to a resolution. Now, it's a resolution, so it's not law that you have to celebrate on the last Friday of the month.
People are still going to do it on Halloween.
They're going to do it both times. I get it. Okay. I think it's chaotic and stupid, but
I don't care. I will put candy out, and if you want it, you can. Would you
please just put a bowl of candy out on your porch every day?
All the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you?
I'll swing by.
Yeah, I will too.
Weather, traffic.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So we've got a 50% chance of snow today. Looks like off and on throughout the weekend, we're going to have quite a bit of snow possibility. Looks like best chance will be Sunday, about a 70% chance on Sunday. And we stay in the mid to upper 30s for highs, although Monday night, overnight low of 8 degrees.
Oh, God.
It'll be very, very, very cold. Let me refresh this, see if there's anything new to tell you about traffic. Hasn't been too terrible of a morning. Little bit of slowage southbound I-15 coming through Farmington. A little bit on I-80 going eastbound over the Summit there. I'm sure that's weather related. I don't have an accident being reported though. Ogden had some snow and some issues this morning. No accidents though to tell you about right now, unless you see something or animals running loose other people need to know about. You can text us 33986. If you're in the market for a new Toyota vehicle, your search begins at toyota.com. Whether you're interested in a car, truck, SUV, hybrid, or minivan, the comprehensive listing of Utah Toyota dealerships at toyota.com.
Real quick before you get to candidate number 3.
Yeah.
This is about the school vouchers thing. A texter. I wrote my state senator about the school voucher thing. He wrote back and said it would make more of a free market thing and force schools to compete to get better. Any government agency shouldn't be free market. Does that mean our Department of Public Safety should be free market? Should we have fire stations competing?
Well, some legislators would push things in that direction. Like the privatization of prisons.
Well, yeah, that I see, but
just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. How can you compete to get better if you're taking money away from the school? How? Lies, lies, lies.
Here's boner candidate number 3, another example of how dumb legislators can be.
Oh.
One of the more bizarre rumors to come out of this fever swamp of online anti-transgender misinformation has been the myth that schools across the United States have had to install litter boxes.
Oh, my God.
To accommodate students who identify as cats.
It's not happening.
Now, North Dakota Republicans have gone so far as to include language banning students who identify as animals from public schools in their latest anti-trans bill.
There aren't any.
You're banning a thing that isn't happening.
A board of a school district, a public or private school, or teacher in a public or private school may not adopt a policy establishing or providing a place, facility, school program, or accommodation that caters to students' perception of being any animal species other than human, a section of the bill introduced by Republican members of the North Dakota legislature says.
Not happening.
This is so stupid, I can't stand it, and they believe that this is true.
It's like legislating to keep Bigfoot out of the town, you know?
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
Exactly. Well, Carrie, have you seen Bigfoot around? It's
exactly,
working.
Yeah.
I'm going to propose that we start organizing rallies that demand that students be allowed to identify as animals,
yes,
and that litter boxes be placed in every classroom in the schools.
None of that is happening. It's been debunked over and over.
Dumb. Boner candidate number 3.
All right. Weather, traffic.
I did all that already. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, we did all that. That's
time to vote.
It's time to review.
Yeah,
I was so upset about this whole thing.
Okay.
Let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1 was, your kitty's name is offensive and you must change it. A neighbor demanding that a cat owner change the pet's name because she claims it's offensive to name that cat Lucifer. Boner candidate number 2, if you love me, a woman stealing $2.8 million, scamming a Holocaust survivor, an 85-year-old Holocaust survivor. And boner candidate number 3, another example of how dumb legislators can be.
All right, let's get to going here. Here we go. You have got to decide of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst? Which one deserves to be boner of the day for today, January 27, 2023? 1, 2, or 3, remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text and text that to 33986. That's one way. Another way is to call Katie in the producer's booth. She will take your live voice vote at 877-602-9696. Also, you can go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner of the Day, January 27, 2023. And if you don't see that box, refresh your internet browser. It'll appear. Click and vote. All right. We got Boner of the Day winner coming up after these, so you got 4.5 minutes to vote. Then we'll get our professional celebrity spotter Stuart in here to tell us who he saw at Sundance. And then have another drink with Jimmy the Wine Guy coming up. Beat Gina on the way as well. 4.5 minutes. Here we go. Boner of the Day.
Don't miss a single moment of the Radio from Hell show. As soon as you wake up, tell your smart...
Norm. Spell it with me now. N-O-R-M. And now we'll use it in some dialogue as our 2 Utah men, LeVar and LeGrand. Today the boys are standing outside the ward house, chatting with a new ward member who has just moved in from out of state. Again, the word is Norm.
Well, Brother Jensen, It's nice to have you in the ward. Where do you come from?
Yeah, what ward was you in and where?
I'm from a ward in Anaheim, California.
Well, we kind of spotted you as a Californian.
Yeah.
You may have noticed that not many of our ward members wear Hawaiian shirts to church.
Nor do many of the male members of this ward have pierced ears either, Elder Jensen.
Yeah, I'm hip. I felt like the brother from another planet in there. Thank goodness I wore shoes.
Well, why didn't you bring Mrs. Jensen and the little Jensens to church today? Maybe they haven't moved up here with you yet.
Or if they are here, I hope they're not sick.
Oh, no, I'm not married.
Oh, a Californian and a bachelor too, huh?
Hey, is Anaheim anywhere near San Francisco?
No, it's not. Anaheim is the city that Disneyland is in.
Oh, that's right. Disneyland. That's that big amusement park with Mickey Mouse and stuff, ain't it? We never been to Disneyland.
We've been to Lagoon. That's an amusement park. It's good enough for us.
You ain't gonna wear any of them mouse ears to church, are you?
No, I don't think so. I don't imagine I'll be wearing this Hawaiian shirt again either.
So, what did you do for a living down there in Anaheim?
Well, I was and still am a tax accountant, and because you fellows have been so nice, I'd be happy to offer you some tax advice for free.
I don't pay taxes. I don't have an income, so I don't pay no taxes.
And I have a fellow that does my taxes, Norm.
Oh, what's Norm's last name? Is he in this ward? I'd kind of like to meet him.
No, his name's not Norm. His name's Evan. Evan Christiansen. Why did you think his name was Norm?
You said your accountant's Norm.
No, he said his accountant was Norm. It's a city near Provo, Utah. Orm! That's where this Evan guy is. Norm!
Oh, sorry.
Sure. We'll see you next Sunday, Brother Jensen. You should save that shirt you're wearing, too. I'm sure we'll have some kind of luau night in the cultural hall this spring sometime.
Yeah, we all get a little crazy that night.
Day.
In part by
Yes.
Dumpling Noodle Soup.
Ooh.
And if you're in the market for a new Toyota vehicle, your search begins at Toyota.com. Whether you're interested in a car, truck, SUV, hybrid, or minivan, comprehensive listing of Utah Toyota dealerships at Toyota.com.
Now, see, this is interesting to me. I'm looking at the totals.
Uh-huh.
And yesterday, we had some good candidates, but low participation.
Yeah.
Today, good candidates.
Yeah.
High participation
Yeah,
on a Friday.
Here's the reason I think.
Okay.
Yesterday's candidates were good candidates, but they were kind of trivial, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of life and death stuff, not a lot of, serious injury to anybody. But these candidates, the Holocaust survivor getting bilked of $2.8 million and the another example of stupidity in the legislature, I think that's what did it.
Yeah.
And those two fought it out, and the winner was boner candidate number 2. The if you love me, you'll give me this money. Poor old guy got 259 votes.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot.
Yep.
Okay, so there's your boner of the day for today, January 27th, 2023. Now qualified to be boner of the week, Dave Mattson. Dave the Flower Guy will be here at 9:50 this morning to tell us who boner of the week is.
Now, I understand. I can hear Stuart Graves, our friend Stuart, in the studio, and I guess Stuart, you didn't have my address, huh?
I didn't know. It's an easy walk, though. I know you're up in the Amps, but
he just assumes everybody knows where he lives. So,
I'll save you a donut, Bill.
Yeah, there's more than 2, maybe even.
And how will I get them?
We'll leave them here for when you come back sometime next week.
I'm sure they'll be delicious by
then.
Well.
Now, usually we talk to Stuart up in Park City. We're not broadcasting up from Sundance and Slam Dance because Bill's been sick and whatever. So Stuart was nice enough to come to the studio here and not only bring us donuts, but tell us all of the celebrities he's met.
This is Stuart's morning run, though.
Yeah, easy commute for me.
How many celebrities do you think you saw this time?
This year it was almost 40.
Wow. Okay.
And names that I really wanted. It's weird because it was a kind of a part down Sundance, and it might be my favorite.
I am so surprised at some of the people. Not surprised because you always get good people, but people that I love, like Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Same, exactly. She was. So I kind of get when I decided to do this. I was kind of like a feral cat this year. You know, we'd been away for 2 years, and I wasn't sure I was going to do it, but I finally let's do it. And I posted a top 5 like 2 weeks ago, and Julia was on there. I mean, my gosh, how can she not be? And so the last day I was up there, I got her and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, another top 5er, and just thrilled about that.
She is a national treasure and must be protected at all costs.
Now, Stuart, when you say you posted, where can people see? You take pictures. You're very polite about it, I know, and ask the celebrities' permission. Where can people see the pictures that you've taken?
Everything is on my Facebook, so Stuart, Stuart Graves. Everything's public, and then I've been putting a bunch of them on Instagram too. Salt Lake Magazine has shared some of the better ones. So those are the places. But I would say Facebook if you want to see everything. So
okay.
Yeah.
And in your opinion, who is? This would be your opinion.
Yeah.
Who was the biggest star you saw?
Anne Hathaway again.
Wow.
And I'm going to tell you, Anne Hathaway should give a TED Talk on dealing with fans.
Really?
She is so stunning. This is the second time I've gotten her, and she just kind of swoops in, gets a picture with anybody that wants, or as best she can before she has to go to the next media thing. Just spectacular. So Anne Hathaway. Joseph Gordon-Levitt I've wanted for 10 years, never saw him, and got him this time, and I was thrilled.
Now, he was here, I noticed. The picture you posted of him, he's wearing an Irish flag mask.
Yes.
Tell people why he was in town.
So he was wearing that because he's in a film called Flora and Son, which just sold for $20 million, so they got their deal. And Eve Hewson is in the cast. I didn't get a picture with her because...
That's Bono's daughter.
Yes. And Bono I got in 1987, one of my first celebrity photos. Actually, I sent it over. He autographed it, sent back. But so I knew he was in the cast. I saw Eve first. I couldn't get a picture. If I would have gone back Monday, I would have got the picture. And then I'm kind of looking, and there at the back, walking just real quiet was... And I'm such a fan, his eyes, and I'm like... and he was so pleasant about it. Yeah, so...
Now, Stuart, you're a very, very, very nice person, and you don't like to speak ill of anyone.
Yeah.
But tell us who the jerks were.
So that's the other thing about this year, and I think it's because of the COVID 2-year pause and all of that. There were literally no jerks.
Nobody that said no, they wouldn't take a photo with you?
In fact, none of the celebrities, a couple of their publicists did, but that's because they're in a hurry, to get Hollywood Reporter or whatever. So to be honest, there was not a jerk this year. In the past, David Crosby was not pleasant. I mean, but this year...
Well, he died.
So now we can speak ill of him.
Exactly.
But anyway, so yeah, no jerks. But like I said, my list was great.
Well, I'm looking at some of these photos here, and you've got just about everybody. Now, here's my question: is that you've been doing this for a long time?
Yes.
Now, I don't expect that they know you by name.
No.
But they must recognize you. Right?
I think a very few do. But my joke is, some of them are like, "Oh, there's Sundance Quasimodo. Let's look more fabulous. We'll get the picture." But I think they might recognize me. And then, now that I'm, some of the pictures are posted and I do a little local TV or whatever. But it doesn't matter if they do or not. You just still be nice and,
What's your trick for people next year that want to go to Sundance and get pictures with celebrities?
Obviously be polite. And analyze the circumstance. If there's a big crowd, I'll say I didn't get Jason Momoa this year. I'd gotten him in the past because it was turning into a mob scene. And I got Adam Lambert, which I was thrilled with, and I'm like, that's my mic drop for today.
You got a couple with him.
Yeah, several. He was the second most friendliest, or as friendly as Anne Hathaway. Spectacular. But I'm like, I'm not going to do Jason Momoa. It's too crazy. So analyze the situation. If you can get them kind of by themselves where it's quiet, but always ask. And then if you see them the second day, they've done most of their media stuff. So they're more relaxed.
Have more time.
Yes, yes.
Now, Stuart takes great photos, and he uses an actual camera, not a phone.
Right.
But every year I have to bring this up, Stuart.
I know. Every year.
Stuart's pictures are amazing, but for some reason, the one time and the one picture I wanted, Stuart got a picture of me with Kevin Bacon. And is that the only blurry picture you've ever had?
No, and I wish Kevin, come back, please. If you're listening. This year I got Gael Garcia Bernal, who is one of my top 5.
Yes.
Love him. And about 3 years ago, I got a picture. It was a hurry, and it was just like the Kevin Bacon one. And I look later, and I'm like, well, there's my karma right there. But I got him this time. It wasn't a great picture, but it was still good. You can tell it's him.
Yeah.
And so yeah. So no, it does happen. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, here's how pleasant she was, even though they were kind of rushing her around. The first picture, I didn't use the viewfinder, and only half of her head you could see it. And I'm like, kind of went back up to her and I said, "Oh, that one didn't turn out." She's like, "No problem." And then she stopped and got the
Which
second
is
one.
nice, because I think a lot of times they might be like, "No, we had one chance and I'm on my way."
Yep, yeah, absolutely. So
now, do you always do selfies?
Yeah, almost always selfies. In the beginning, I would have somebody take the picture, but there's not time.
No,
and you just get the selfie and go on.
Yeah, because they're on their way always.
Right,
on their way to somewhere. So you got to do it.
That's
way.
it. So no, always a selfie. Yeah.
Well, you can see some in Salt Lake Magazine, but we encourage you to go to Stuart's Facebook page, Stuart Graves. Stuart Graves, and go and take a look. And you got Kang the Conqueror, and wow.
Alden, how do you say his name? Aaron Reich?
Aaron Reich?
Oh, that's Han Solo.
Han Solo.
Yeah, but he was also in Hail Caesar and loved him in that. Indigo Girls, Bill Pullman, Bob in Maverick.
Yeah.
It was great.
Will Forte, you got?
Yes, yeah.
Got everybody.
Daisy Ridley?
Yes, she was stunning.
She looks beautiful
Stunning.
in that
She's a delight.
picture.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, because, Stuart, you are so nice, I know you'll now leave the studio and bring me some donuts.
Yeah.
All right.
Give me his address.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Traffic, Gina, please.
Well, the snow actually coming down quite heavily up north. Road conditions in Clearfield are bad. I-15 near 7th. Oh, yeah. It's
Started
happening here, too.
It's Mount Doom. It's hit us as well.
Sardine Canyon is bad. Use caution if you're traveling between Logan and Brigham City. Ogden's seeing quite a bit of snow. Now, I don't have a lot of accidents to tell you about. That's the good news. So whatever snow is falling doesn't seem to be causing accidents, but just be aware of it as you're leaving. Slow down. Make sure your lights are on. Make sure your car is cleaned off. Leave some space between you and the car in front of you. Hurry to your locally owned Big O Tires now through January 29th. Buy 3 tires, get 1 free on 4 select in-stock Nexen or Aspen tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
All right, we will take a break. We will be back. Have another drink with Jimmy the Wine Guy coming up after these. KXRK Provo.
Utah talks about Radio from Hell.
Austin Shaw from Murray.
Less than a week away from Halloween.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to get my comic books together for the trick-or-treaters.
I haven't bought candy yet.
Less than a week, and so we've gone the entire month of October.
I'm going to give insulin this year.
That's expensive. That's an
I was going to say, I'll put you in the poorhouse.
That's true.
Entire month of October, and we have yet to have a visit from my very favorite friend of the Radio from Hell show.
Who was that?
Who was that?
Well, Jimmy was just here an hour ago.
I like Jimmy, but he's not my favorite.
And
he's my favorite.
Hildy's retired.
And I like Hildy, but not my favorite.
No?
Friend of... Come on, you guys.
Where are we going?
Well, Punk was here on Wednesday and dropped off some toys. But
I love Punk, but that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about...
I don't know who you could be.
Chainsaw Guy.
Who's that? What's that again?
Chainsaw Guy. Actually, you're usually not here when he's here, so maybe you don't know how much I adore.
I do know because, as you know, Chainsaw Guy and I have a very special relationship. I'm the one who introduced him to you, if you'll recall.
It's true.
And I have not heard.
He's your life coach, right?
He is. He was.
Not anymore.
He was. Well, when I found out that he was self-certified.
That's when
I went, oh, well.
You didn't like his advice, and then you looked into it. And,
but I said, where
because he thought, if I'm getting this out of a psychology book, screw him.
Where did you learn this stuff, I said. Did you go to school? He said, no, I'm self-certified. So, but I have not heard anything from him.
Well,
and I usually do by this time of year. I mean, he contacts me and says, the first thing he always says is, hey, how's that kid doing?
Is that your Chainsaw Guy impression? It's terrible, by the way.
I know.
You don't sound anything.
Okay, I won't try to do it again, but he always asks about you right off the bat.
But then I'm putting out a call to Chainsaw Guy, if you're listening. We have less than a week to have you come visit us, or it just won't feel like it'll be like Santa not coming for Christmas.
I heard he was
doing
doing
the Easter Bunny not coming.
I heard he was doing a podcast, and he's kind of
Chainsaw Guy podcast.
Yeah, I heard he was doing a podcast, and he's kind of busy with that.
Well, if he, I hope I know he's a good friend of the program. I know he listens. So, a Chainsaw Guy, just going to be really sad if you don't.
Well, if he can't make it to the show, I'll have him call you. And
he could at least offer some advice over the phone.
No, I want him in here. I need to see him. I need to.
I don't need the smell of the exhaust, and and
it's always terrible.
His overalls are always kind of dirty,
and he usually doesn't button them up the right way.
Yes,
there's always something hanging out.
Well, we have 4 more days of Radio from Hell show where you will have the chance to.
Well, I'll
make
If
good on.
I find him, what I'll do, and I'll tell him, Kerry says that he can come, but only if he agrees to shower.
Well, wash the overalls.
Okay, I'll tell him.
That's all.
He's supposed to be scary. Dirt is scary. You know how petrified I am of filth?
So you like the fact that he smells so bad?
It's just part of the...
All right.
No?
I don't know.
Okay.
For those who don't know who we're talking about, Chainsaw Guy is the guy in the hockey mask at the end of your haunted house who chases you out with a chainsaw. But he's also a self-certified life coach and a poet. He
has sage advice.
He offers love advice.
Love advice and relationship advice. And even advice for your future, and job hunting, things like that.
He was having a hard time of it a couple of years ago. He was leaf blower guy for a while.
They took his chainsaw away.
Well, maybe that's part of the problem this year. I don't know.
No, he's got his chainsaw back. I saw him.
Oh, you did?
I'm pretty sure it was him.
Was it at the end of a haunted house?
Yeah.
Well, it probably was.
He kept saying, "Hey, hey, hey,"
Yeah.
and so I thought he was trying to get my attention. So
Katie's getting married. She needs Chainsaw Guy's advice.
That's true. That's true. She could use some.
Maybe she needs Chainsaw Guy to officiate the ceremony.
He can. He is registered with the what is it? The Universal Life
Chainsaw Church.
Yeah.
Reverend Chainsaw Guy.
Well, it's Reverend Guy. His first name is Chainsaw.
Oh, that's right.
His first name is
Guy.
Chain.
Yeah.
His middle name is Saw.
I mean, I imagine you're on enough of a close enough relationship that you could call him by his first name.
Okay, but Reverend Guy.
Hey, Chainsaw.
Yeah, people are suggesting that Chainsaw Guy appear on an episode of Remain Seated with Gina Barberi.
My podcast.
Because you like him so much, you should get a hold of him and invite him. Up to you by
On the Rocks Cocktails, bringing you ready-to-drink classic cocktails with a modern twist.
Have another drink, make you feel better. Have another drink and you feel alright. If you feel down and you're under the weather, have another drink and you feel alright.
Jimmy Santangelo, Jimmy the Wine Guy, the impresario of the Wine Academy of Utah, is in the studio. What a bummer. I'm broadcasting from home. Not only do I miss out on donuts, but now I'm missing out on cocktails in the morning with Jimmy.
We're pairing donuts and cocktails, right? Isn't that what
How nice for you.
We'll have to drop something off for you. Good morning, everybody.
Hi, Jimmy.
We've got a lot of great items here today for you. We have 2 packs to feature. They're pre-mixed cocktails, ready-to-drink cocktails.
And these are...
And so we've got 2. We've got, this is the old-fashioned, and this is Knob Creek in it.
Ooh.
This is this is 355 milliliter. So this is a half a bottle of wine, if you will.
Wow.
To put it into comparison.
Okay.
This is a lot of fun. Ready to go. 35% alcohol by volume. That is only $12.
Wow.
At the wine store. That is a
look at
fantastic
that.
cocktail. I've done a tasting comparison, especially with Knob Creek in there.
So what is that, about 2 cocktails, Jimmy? 3?
Big straw. Just throw a straw right in there.
So this is, would you just straight or on the rocks either?
On the rocks, yep. Just maybe a little shake, but with an old-fashioned, all I have to do is put it right over ice. Then we have the Winter Collection by On the Rocks. So On the Rocks is a distillery. They're a packaging, and they do all prepackaged cocktails. These are great. You can even order these on airplanes. You can take these. I've taken a few of these kits when we have family in town. We're going camping overnight. This way, it's just super easy, and they're delicious. They're made with premium spirits, high-quality ingredients, not fructose flavor corn syrup. It's all spot-on stuff.
Carrie, it's effing vodka in there.
I love that.
Are they small enough that you can sneak them into concert venues?
Well, the Winter Collection, maybe. I know this is an empty box I'm showing because we've got these tiny little guys. Comes with 4.
Can you hold those up, Carrie, so I can see them?
Yep. So these are 200 milliliter. You get 4 of in the box. So you have the Cosmopolitan, the Aviation, Old Fashioned, and what Carrie's holding is the Espresso Martini.
What is it about espresso martinis? I'm seeing them everywhere. Is this
They're
a new
starting
trend?
to come back because a higher quality coffee liqueur. So typically Kahlua, which is delicious.
Yes.
But you now have from like St. George Distillery, they have a great coffee liqueur. You also have one called Black Coffee Liqueur. These are fine, high quality coffee liqueur. Do you guys want to try one of these?
Well,
you bet.
So Bill, you're not here. I had to go and get my son's D&D dice because we have 4. So I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll a 4-sided die here to see which one.
Which one are we getting?
4. So that's the Espresso Martini. Is that good with you?
Sure, yeah. I'd love to try it.
I guess, Katie, I didn't roll for initiative. Should I roll for initiative? All right, I should have rolled.
She knows how it works.
Now, what goes into an espresso martini?
So this is also vodka based. You have then that coffee liqueur, and a lot of times you can use this.
Thank you.
And some people will float with a little cream or dairy, but you don't have to. This is just shook, over ice, strained, martini glass, up. And good morning. Let's see what we got.
This is a good morning cocktail.
You know, a local distillery should team with Mill Creek Coffee to kind of do something. I'm just saying.
Well, I like that. It's not too sweet.
This
It's
is
nice and
good.
dry.
Yeah,
alcohol is well integrated.
Yeah, I've just been seeing espresso martinis everywhere, and this is delicious. And this is no hassle. You just pour it.
No hassle. I put a straw right in there, and you're good to go. This is a 200 milliliter, so this is a smaller volume than the half bottle, obviously. The old fashioned, they also have in this winter. Oh, in this kit, this collection, rather, $20.
Oh, is
For all 4 of these.
Oh, wow.
You got to get them at the
What a
wine
deal.
stores.
At the wine
these
store,
are,
okay.
These are a limited release, naturally, winter collection. The aviation cocktail, if you haven't had that before, that's got a little bit of the creme de violette in there, and that's also, that's a gin base. That's a gin base. And then, of course, your Cosmopolitan with a little cranberry vodka and triple sec.
Here's a texter. I've been driving to Wendover to get On the Rocks for a while. Glad that they're finally here. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, now, Jimmy, I see that Wine Academy of Utah has lots of stuff coming up.
Ooh, look at
what's
that.
going on?
You're busy.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things. We're really excited about activating our consumer tasting events in our community. We have them as far north as Logan at Barrel and Stave, brand new restaurant up there. Well, I guess they just celebrated their 1-year anniversary. Really great food up there. We're doing Whiskey Wednesdays once a month. All the way down here, of course, at the Leonardo Museum, where we do a Chef and Somm Flight and Bite. We're activating that space again. And then, Tracy Aviary, one of my favorite events, we pack out that Chase Mills building, so definitely get your tickets there. It's a great date night, great book club night. We had a book club group of girls in there. They'd say, "Where's the books?" And they laughed. And they
It's a
laughed,
wine
and we
club.
laughed and laughed.
Now, you're doing something at the Woodbine Food Hall, I see, too.
Yeah, 3 Cups has a new location.
Oh, they do?
3 Cups Coffee, yep. So they're in Murray Holiday. We do
Yeah.
our wine classes there once a month. But now we're doing a popcorn, wine, and chocolate pairing at Woodbine Food Hall at their 3 Cups locations once a month. Yeah,
And
it's a lot of
Whiskey
fun.
Wednesdays, this is great stuff.
Yeah.
You can find out about all of that by just going to the wineacademyofutah.com. And it's just a great place to go for just general knowledge about spirits and wine as well.
These On the Rocks cocktails are just great because, I tried for a while to be my own bartender, and I could figure it out
It's
and
a
I could do
hassle,
it,
though.
but it's
Sure.
a hassle.
It's a hassle.
That's the thing. You got friends over.
It's a weekend thing. During the week, though, you just want your cocktail and you want it now.
No, I mean, even with the weekends.
Twist and go.
Even with the weekends, I got a house full of people. I'm trying to keep everybody happy. I don't have time to worry about the bitters and the orange slice and all of that stuff.
No, it's true. And then to make an aviation and to buy a whole bottle of creme de violette that you're never going to go through.
You won't.
So this is a great opportunity to try different styles that you might otherwise.
Oh, yeah.
This
I've
is just so
started to
great.
try and streamline that kind of stuff, Gary. I just have a handle of wild turkey.
Only a handle.
A handle of wild turkey, no glass, no ice, nothing. Just grab it by the handle and tip it up.
Your parties are the finest in the land.
That's just a very spare cocktail.
But I like what you're saying, Jimmy, about how these are small bottles, and if you're just trying something out, you're not committing.
This is a
to
great
buying
way to
it.
do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For $20, I can't emphasize it enough. High quality spirits.
I have a gin question for you quickly.
Sure.
Aviation gin I've had several times. It seems that no matter, like what is it, 80 proof, I think. For some reason, aviation gin hits me hard.
Really?
I can drink another brand of gin, 80 proof, doesn't hit me so hard, but something about aviation, it just goes, whoa.
I'd be interested to know what the base spirit of aviation gin is, because you need to start with a base spirit, whether it's corn-based, mixed neutral grain. When we featured Alan Scott's Valley of the Moon, the gin from Water Pocket Distillery.
Oh, yeah, great stuff.
Great stuff. And what he shared with me, he says, look, Jimmy, when we make a gin, we want that neutral grain spirit. It's like a blank canvas, so then us as distillers can layer all our ingredients and add our botanicals and essences to really show through. So I bring that up because aviation gin, I'd be interested to see. Sometimes if they use a corn-based spirit, that does have a bit of more viscosity, a little bit of richness. But you're not opposed to corn-based grains because you're a whiskey lover, right?
Yeah.
So it's just interesting. That's where I would kind of reverse engineer, kind of like see where that's going there.
But I'm not crazy. I mean that. It could be that it
could be.
It's either that or the half a bottle that you have. So it's either
that could be.
It's either.
Well, and not to confuse people, this drink is called the Aviation, but it's not using Aviation gin. This is Larios gin.
That's right, and
So
the
this
creme
is-
de violet, little lime, or excuse me, lemon in there as the ingredient. And we used to make this at the back in the day before craft cocktails were really hitting the scene. At Copper Onion, we'd have this on our feature, and trying to find creme de violet at that time was was not as easy as you thought.
This is the way to go with these. So find these in the wine store.
And very affordable, $20.
Yeah, on the rocks premixed cocktails. Wow.
Cheers, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy. WineAcademyofUtah.com. All of his appearances and classes and events are there. Join in. Traffic, Gina.
Well, snow's becoming an issue, particularly the further north you go, although we are having some snow down here in downtown Salt Lake. And I do have some accidents to tell you about. Crash northbound I-215 west at 47th south in Salt Lake. We've got a crash eastbound Riverdale Road at 15th west. That's up north. Also crash both directions, Midland Drive at Hinckley Drive. Those are both in Weber County up there. And crash northbound I-15 24th Street. So more issues further north you go, but we are seeing snow down here in the valley. Also lots of slowage. I-80, both east and westbound going over the summit. I'm sure that's weather related as well. Liza Brarian says it's snowing in Kearns. We've had some folks say it's snowing in Bountiful. So you're going to be dealing with that on your commute this morning. Make sure your lights are on, slow down, and give some space between you and the car in front of you. Hurry into your locally owned Big O Tires now through January 29th. Buy 3 tires, get 1 free on 4 select in-stock Nexen or Aspen tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
All right, beat Gina. It's time to play. Get in line, 877-602-9696. And, because we're always trying to reach out to the youth. We're always trying to be on the cutting edge of what the kids are into.
Can't wait.
James Cromwell trivia.
That'll do, pig.
That'll do.
Zephram Cochrane?
Yes, all of that coming up.
I just gave away all the trivia questions.
I think you did, actually. No, you didn't. You didn't, because our trivia meisters are so sneaky.
Well, we'll give Salt Lake Film Society prize pack away for that.
All right, that'll be nice. So 877-602-9696. Call to win. You will win. It's Beat Gina, 877-602-9696. Some news after that as well. Join us for a weekend of extras.
I have it's actually a list, Carrie.
Huh?
It's a Halloween list.
Halloweeny?
List of
It's 11 spine-tingling hauntings said to be true in Utah.
Said to be
Said
true.
to
Well,
be
then it must be fact then, right?
It's Radio from Hell with another list, because people love a good list. X96.
I'm gonna put my logical, scientific mind to this.
Okay. Number 1, the White Lady of Latuda.
Oh yeah, I've heard about this.
The little town of Latuda was a booming mine town at the turn of the 20th century, but in 1927, an avalanche ripped through the town, killing several residents. A woman in a white dress is often seen wandering around the vacant buildings. Many people believe she's the widow of a miner who died.
I think this one's true.
Number 2,
Okay.
young girl's ghost at Moon Lake.
Oh yeah.
If you go camping at Moon Lake in the High Uintas, you might run into the ghost of a young girl. Several campers have reported she appears in broad daylight, soaking wet and shivering. As they try to give her assistance, she disappears right in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it's on Facebook, it must be true.
I think it's true.
Clem, the Civil War soldier at Fort Douglas.
Clem, right up there by the University of Utah.
Fort Douglas is said to be home of several ghosts, but Clem is the most popular.
Why?
He's thought to be a Civil War soldier who was murdered by a disgruntled private at the fort in 1899. Clem is short and stocky. Have you seen him, Bill?
I have.
He has a beard. He's often seen wandering among the headstones at the Fort Douglas Cemetery.
Yeah.
Facebook says it's true.
Speaking of cemeteries, Salt Lake City Cemetery is the final resting place for more than 125,000 people.
It's just lousy with ghosts.
Visitors report hearing footsteps, seeing orbs, hearing the cries of people.
Yeah.
Some have even seen children running around the cemetery who disappear into thin air when approached.
Now, Steph in our chat room, who I trust implicitly when it comes to politics and news, she says that the White Lady is real.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Ghostly children at Murray Park. Sometimes ghost stories pop up in unexpected places. Murray Park is a beautiful park, shady trees, plenty of grass for picnics, 4 different playgrounds. People at the park often report seeing a young boy and his little sister on the playground. They both seem distraught, but the kids disappear when people approach.
Well, they want to go help them, but then they're ghosts.
So far, you've agreed with all these,
I think
Bill.
And I know I've seen Clem.
The legend of Dead Horse Point State Park is a horrifying tale.
Oh, it sure is.
It's said that cowboys were poaching horses from the native people in the area and drove the horses to the natural corral on the peninsula of land that sits far above the Colorado River. Then the thieves abandoned the horses who died of thirst. Campers at the state park report hearing the stamping of hooves and whinnies of horses late into the night.
Facebook says it's true.
The ghost of Holken Olson, the first owner of the Shooting Star Saloon.
Oh, up in Huntsville.
Utah's oldest continuously operating bar is said to be haunted by its original owner. Holken Olson was apparently quite a character. He owned and operated the bar all the way through Prohibition. Several staff throughout the years claim to have seen him, and they say he often turns the lights on after they leave.
What? Well, that's not very energy conscious.
He doesn't care. He's a ghost.
Yeah, it's...
American Fork Canyon is beautiful, but many people claim that it's full of unexplained paranormal activity. Timpanogos Cave is said to be haunted by spirits who brush up against people during the cave tour. You've done the tour, Bill.
I have, and several spirits rubbed up against me rather vigorously.
Now, did this happen, though? People have reported ghostly hitchhikers plague drivers who then, after they leave the cave, they come with them.
Yeah.
So you're telling me...
Hitchhiking ghosts.
Beware of hitchhiking ghosts.
Yes.
At Timpanogos, yep.
It might seem odd to find ghosts at a municipal building, but some people who work at the Salt Lake City and County building, we'll have to ask Mayor Mendenhall about this, swear that it's haunted. It's thought that at least 5 different ghosts haunt the halls and offices there, including 2 children, a previous Salt Lake City mayor. Oh, it's Dee Dee Cordini, don't you think?
Probably. See, the mayor's a politician, though. She'll try to cover this up. We know it to be true.
Grafton is Utah's most famous ghost town. It was the site of several tragedies over the years. Visitors wander through the cemetery, report hearing chilling screams, eerie laughter. Finally, this. The Purple Lady at the Rio Grande Depot.
Right down the road.
If you visit the restroom at the Rio Grande Depot, you may see a lady dressed in purple in the mirror.
Well, I accidentally went into the ladies' room, and there she was.
She's said to be a woman who got into an argument with her fiancé on the train platform. She took off her engagement ring, threw it on the tracks, and then immediately regretted her actions, climbed down to retrieve it, and was struck by a train and killed. She's seen in several different spots throughout the depot.
I think that one is true as well. I think all of those are true.
I thought you were going to bring science, Bill, but you...
Well, my scientific mind says those are all true. Because so many people have seen them and recounted the stories, it must be true.
What? There's no other explanation.
No, I don't think so.
Now, when Sue and I first moved in together, I convinced her that our house that we were in was haunted.
Why did you do
Just having a little fun?
Well, it's just, I would, fart in the next room. And she would say, "What's that?" And I'd say, "Oh, it was a ghost, clearly.
Uh-huh.
It was a ghost."
The farting ghost.
Talk about gaslighting.
Ah.
Oh, come on.
And I
We
do
hope
mean...
you'd enjoyed another list with Radio from Hell on X96.
Oh.
Farting ghost.
It's a ghost.
This is your final warning. After this commercial announcement, it's time for another edition of Be Gina. I'm your announcer, Johnny Yola. You know, there's no other box of facial tissues like the Scotties' new Magic Oval box. Only Scotties gives you tissues that float up gently one at a time and come out in neat handfuls, too. Because there's a Magic Oval inside every new Scotties box, only Scotties' Magic Oval can give you tissues that float up smooth and easy. No tugging, no tearing, no extra tissues tagging along. And Scotties' Magic Oval does even more. It lets you reach in for tissues by the handful, all neatly folded, just right for pocket or purse. Scotties' new Magic Oval box is pretty, too. And inside, soft, strong, sneeze-proof Scotties. Remember, for tissues that float up smoothly and come out neatly folded, Scotties.
So, I'll take a case of them.
You know, Carrie, there's a phone beeping in my ear very loudly.
I don't know why that would be.
Ah, thank you. And now, here he is, soft but strong, and he also floats up smoothly. Your host, Carrie Jackson.
Well, that beeping was supposed to be our contestant who hung up, but luckily we have others on deck. We have Darren is who you'll be
Darren.
playing against, Gina. Hi, Darren.
Good morning.
Hi there, Darren. All right, we're going to toss a coin to see who goes first, and it will give you an advantage in the game, so please call it heads or tails.
Let's go tails.
All right, tails. Coin toss app says heads, as you can see.
Oh, well, you're one step further away from winning our prize today. It comes to you from the Salt Lake Film Society. And we have a year Salt Lake Film Society Red Carpet Club actor level membership that includes $5 admissions for you and a guest on Tuesdays, special screening and event invitations, 20% off regular tickets, concessions, and online cinema. Membership details at slfs.org.
There you go. That's what you are, hopefully, you're going to win. And playing Beat Gina today. So here we go. The first question is for Gina to answer exclusively. It's multiple choice. If she answers it correctly, she gets the point. If not, Darren, I will turn to you and allow you to steal that point away. We'll go back and forth on these questions until one of you has 3 points. Now, because we're always staying on the cutting edge, we're always there.
What the kids are talking
at the
about.
forefront of popular items and, James Cromwell trivia, because it's his birthday today. He's an actor. James Cromwell. So the first question is for Gina.
Okay.
Gina,
Okay.
Standing at a height of 6'5" tall, what record does he hold?
Okay.
Is it 1, the tallest person to hold 72 grapes in his mouth and take them out one by one intact? Is it 2, tallest person to create an account to get dudes to moon him over Reddit?
Wow.
3, he is the tallest Oscar-nominated actor of all time.
Okay.
Or 4, the tallest person to have the entire periodic table of the elements memorized.
Well, I think he probably could do number 4. I'm betting it's number 3.
You are correct, yes.
Yes, thank you, Gina. That's 1 point for you.
All right.
Nicely done. Darren, your turn.
Darren, James has played 4 different presidents. James Cromwell, 4 different presidents.
Okay.
Which of the presidents did he play? Is it 1, fictional President Fowler in The Sum of All Fears in 2002? Is it 2, fictional President Newman on The West Wing, 1999? Is it 3, Lyndon B. Johnson in the TV film RFK in 2002? Or is it 4, George H.W. Bush in Oliver Stone's film W in 2008?
Shoot, this is hard.
That's an actual trivia
This
question.
is an actual trivia question.
Yeah. Let's go A.
1, fictional President Fowler in The Sum of All Fears. Actually, all of them are correct. So, kind of a lucky,
sort of a trick.
Lucky trick there.
It's 1-1. Darren, you have tied the game. Now, Gina, it's your turn.
Gina.
Yes.
James Cromwell was ranked number 56 of Total Film's top 100 greatest movie villains.
Oh.
For which role?
Okay.
Is it 1, Noah Cross, the guy who turned off all the water in Chinatown? Is it 2, Sailor Galaxia from Sailor Moon? Though once a Sailor Guardian themselves, they have been corrupted by chaos and transformed into one of the most powerful and frightening foes of the universe. Is it 3, Brewmeister Smith of Elsinore Brewery, who put mind-controlled drugs in the beer in Strange Brew? Or was it 4, Captain Dudley Smith in L.A. Confidential?
Is it L.A. Confidential?
That is correct.
Yes. Great movie, too. 2-1. Let's see if you can tie it up there, Darren.
All right.
Okay.
Darren, let's see.
Yes.
Why was James Cromwell sentenced to 7 days in jail in 2017?
Oh, okay.
Was it 1, he was arrested at a sit-in climate change protest? Was it 2, he attacked his girlfriend with a banana? Was it 3, he was caught trying to rescue pigs from a slaughterhouse? Or 4, he crashed his station wagon into a gas station and stole a banana?
Wow.
Which he later used.
A couple of bananas there, huh?
Yeah.
Let's go C.
They're trying to rescue pigs from the slaughterhouse. Terribly
See why
sorry.
you would think that.
That was a good guess.
Good guess. It was there to trick you. Yes.
I think it's the climate change.
Climate change.
That's it, and Gina wins the game. Nicely done.
How?
Good job, Gina.
Oh,
Gina
thanks,
needed to
Darren.
end the week on a win.
I did. And I'm feeling so good about myself, I'm going to share the goodwill. And even though I beat you, Darren, I'm going to give you the Salt Film Society prize pack.
Right?
Wow.
All right. Hang on the line there, Darren.
Hang on, we'll tell you how to get that.
No Stretch Cunningham questions?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get to any. I still have many left over.
okay.
Oh, good. Well, listen, it's time for me to clean the litter box, so I've got to blow.
Good for you. Big Boy News now brought to you by.
Discover the mysteries of space at Clark Planetarium with educational films exploring science themes and free interactive exhibits throughout the museum. The whole family is sure to discover something new. More at clarkplanetarium.org.
Tragedy.
Oh?
He was one of a kind. An original. He will be missed. Lloyd Morissette, a psychologist whose young daughter's viewing habits on television inspired the creation of the revolutionary children's educational television program Sesame Street.
Oh, wow.
And whose fundraising helped get it off the ground.
So one of
He
the
died-
creators of Sesame Street.
I should know
Yes,
who this
you
person
should.
is. Then.
He died on January 15th at his home in San Diego. He was 93. His daughter, Julie Morissette, confirmed the death. Mr. Morissette was vice president of the nonprofit Carnegie Corporation in 1966 when he attended a dinner party in Manhattan hosted by his friends Joan Gans Cooney and her husband Tim. During the evening, Mr. Morissette told guests that his daughter Sarah was so mesmerized by TV that she would watch the test pattern on weekend mornings.
That was me.
Yeah, me too. Sarah also had memorized advertising jingles. His daughter had. I mean, she just loved TV so much.
I just love television.
And at one point in the conversation, he said, Joan, do you think television could be used to teach young children?
Never.
And that's how Sesame Street sort of came about.
Wow.
And Gina, to confirm your story, excuse me, I'm still sick. Scottish actor who appears with Billy Connolly in the Oscar-tipped film John Brown.
Oh,
I don't know that film. Was hailed as a hero after saving a young boy from drowning in the River Tay. Gerard Butler was having a picnic with his mother at Taymouth Castle, Kenmore, a setting for parts of the film, when he heard a young boy screaming that his friend was in trouble. Butler, who plays the younger brother of the film's main character, raced to the riverside, saw a youngster in difficulty, jumped in, and pulled 14-year-old Daniel Smith to safety.
Wow. After
he had disappeared below the surface of the river. The incident follows a number of drownings across the UK during the current hot spell. When does
This
the
was
date
a while
of the story?
ago, yeah.
Oh, July of '97 is when it happened. So that movie, John Brown, has come and gone a long time ago. I think we all need to head down to St. George.
What's happening
Why?
Well, they're throwing a birthday party, and everybody's invited. The 161st birthday celebration scheduled for tomorrow, with the mayor and the city council members and other city officials set to serve up free root beer floats.
Let's go.
For anybody who wants to stop by.
What's the catch?
None. You just got to go to the social hall between noon and 2 p.m. It's a tradition that's grown up in recent years as a way to celebrate the city's founding. St. George was officially chartered January 17th, 1862, and now includes a broader heritage celebration that includes things like free access to city buses, free access to city attractions like the Sand Hollow Aquatic Center and the St. George Art Museum.
Okay, I'd be interested, but then I'd have to go to St. George.
That's true.
And I'd have to be in St. George, which
Well, I think it's kind of.
I don't want.
I think it's kind of silly that they celebrate. Let's see, how did they put it? The St. George's Heritage Celebration. There'll be only white people there.
Yeah.
Should we just have our own root beer floats
Yes.
here? Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Soft serve.
A 29-year-old woman was arrested after registering for high school as a juvenile. According to the New Brunswick Police Department, Hyung Shin used a fake birth certificate to enroll in the high school. Now, bear in mind, she's 29. She reportedly attended classes at New Brunswick High School for 4 days before her alleged scheme was uncovered. New Brunswick Public School Superintendent Aubrey Johnson addressed the incident during a school board meeting. He said that the district is required to enroll all students that come their way. However, the police department said the district can request documents to verify a student's identity. We applaud our staff members who uncovered this woman's ruse. I've seen this story a bunch of places. Nowhere have I seen why she did this. Nobody has reported on that. Police have not said whether the woman truly wanted a high school education or had some other motive for attending the classes.
Interesting.
One more. Let's see. One more?
Yeah.
Well, watch out for this.
What?
Gina, you probably have had this happen.
What's that?
You go get your nails done.
Yes.
And have you ever opted for the gel polish?
I always get the gel polish.
Well, you're probably then used to drying your nails underneath a UV lamp?
Yes.
Well, how safe is that? Apparently, it can be very dangerous. Chronic use of those UV lamps can damage your DNA and cause mutations in your cells that can increase the risk of skin cancer.
What?
It's okay. She's vaccinated.
Yeah.
None of that stuff.
Future large-scale epidemiological studies are warranted to accurately quantify the risk for skin cancer, but they say that these UV drying machines can cause you to get, I guess, cancer on your
There
fingers.
are different lamps now that you don't use those lights.
And back to the St. George story, here's a texter saying, I'm going to show up in drag and see if I still get my root beer float.
Good
luck
there
with
we
that.
go.
Good idea.
Sports, weather, traffic.
Okay, so the Utah men's basketball yesterday, they won. They beat the Beavers 63-44. The women, who were ranked 9th in the country, they play today at 7 o'clock against the USC Trojans. The Jazz play tomorrow. They play the Dallas Mavericks tomorrow. And your football this weekend, of course, Sunday, 1 o'clock, 49ers and Eagles.
Yes.
And then 4:30, the Bengals and the Chiefs. That is your sports weather. It's snowing a little bit down here, downtown Salt Lake, but more so it looks like up north, and we're going to see that throughout the day today. Actually, all weekend long, off and on. Looks like our best chance of snow is Sunday, but maybe you're outside right now going, well, my best chance is right now because it's snowing.
It's snowing
right
pretty hard up here by the university.
We've heard from friends of the program that have texted in about the conditions out there. Somebody says, could you please turn your lights on all the way on your car? Sometimes auto lights, you just turn them a little way and you just have the little orange light on. Turn them on all the way. Folks can't see you. They're asking for that. Don't have many accidents to tell you about. There is some slowage. Eastbound I-80 coming up over the Summit and Parley's Canyon. And yeah, just some slowage due to the weather, but not a lot of accidents. So just be aware of that. Southbound I-15 coming through Farmington into Centerville looks pretty slow. This is all just weather related. If you see something or want to complain about people not turning their lights on or see elk herds running loose, you can text us 33986. This Valentine's Day, don't stress what your sweetheart wants. Lim Jewelers knows. Diamond stud earrings are 25% off now through Valentine's Day. Lim Jewelers, Midvale, and at limjewelers.com.
All right. We will take a break. We will be back after this with Mayor Wilson.
Jenny Wilson.
Jenny Wilson, not Goldie.
Yeah.
Mayor Wilson coming up. Stand by for that. And then just after 9 o'clock, it's Frank Christ presents They're Fine. They're Just Fine.
Listen to Radio from Helen.
We have late-breaking news from the nursery. Mikkel is on the line. Hello, Mikkel.
Mikkel.
This is Gina's sister, Mikkel.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Are you at the hospital, Mikkel?
I am. Am I a terrible sister? I'm out here in the hall calling you guys. Why am I doing that?
Because we need to know.
Are you an aunt?
Of course I'm an aunt. I'm the aunt.
Well, she was an aunt
I
before.
know, but are you an aunt
a new
two
aunt.
times over?
Many times over. I don't even know how many times over.
Did Gina have the baby?
Yes, we have a baby.
We've got a baby.
What is it? Is it human?
It's a human baby.
It appears to be human.
Did it come out wearing a little turban and those turned-up shoes?
No, but actually there's a funny story which I can relay.
Okay.
That Joe put in a soothing CD, and out come these sounds of all these monkey sounds. It's like a jungle CD.
It's is it the rainforest? Is that what it was?
It's supposed to be, nice, soothing labor and delivery music. And all of a sudden we hear this. And so then we're out in the hall talking to the doctor who's here, and it's not her regular doctor. And the nurse said, "Don't worry, this doctor's wonderful. In fact, last week or this summer, he delivered the baby orangutan up at the Hogle Zoo."
Oh. So he's really good.
So Mikkel, it's a little girl. We knew that.
Yeah, Jonesy, she's 7'7".
Okay.
7 pounds, 7 ounces.
And you can braid her hair.
So she's not that huge.
But a lot of hair though.
Huh.
But tons of hair.
Did we think she was going to be bigger than that?
She looked bigger than that.
Now.
What? She was huge. What are we talking? What are we mincing words for? Gina looked huge.
She looks beautiful.
Yes, all pregnant women are beautiful and huge. All right.
So 7 pounds, 7 ounces.
But she still is about 10 days early, so she's a good size.
Well, that's a good size.
And everything. And was it a hard delivery? Easy? Was it?
No, not a peep. Gina didn't say a word. Just 2 pushes and out she popped. It was quick.
The baby just slid right out.
Is that because she had the drugs, right? That's why she didn't make a peep,
yes.
right?
Her thumb was going crazy on the bolus. Absolutely.
I'm tired.
There you go. Get out of here.
Well, that's great
That's good news.
Great news. I just had to. Yeah, she's probably going to kill me that I called you guys, but I had to do it.
No, I think she'll be happy you did.
Okay.
Thanks, Mikkel.
Okay, Elsa.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, tell her to just relax or something. It's 8:48 right now. Let me get the interface up here, and it's the mayor. Hello, Mayor Wilson.
Salt Lake County Mayor Jenny Wilson. Good morning, Mayor Wilson. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning.
Mayor Wilson, let's just get right into this gondola thing, shall we? So I was reading about it today in one of the papers, I don't know, and it says the Wasatch Front Regional Council voted yesterday afternoon to release a draft of 2023-2050 Regional Transportation Plan, which includes plans to build the gondola. So can you explain to people, first of all, who's on the Wasatch Front Regional Council, and then where does that leave us now? Are we going to get a gondola?
Yeah, so the Wasatch Front Regional Council is a body of primarily elected officials, but there are others represented, including UTA, UDOT. And the federal government mandates these local planning authorities so that because so much money is federal dollars pass through to states and then down to local even, these planning bodies need to go through a pretty rigorous process. So there's a lot of, I think, appropriate bureaucracy because we're talking about so much money. And we're in a little bit of a chicken and an egg with the highway authority, the Federal Highway Authority, who's saying for there to be a final record of decision on the gondola and the little Cottonwood Canyon transportation system, we have to have this project listed. I'm saying, no, wait a minute. UDOT has said nothing's final until it's final. So the mere fact that Wasatch Front listed it yesterday on the regional plan is one step further in the process for the gondola becoming a reality. Many in the room said, hey, no big deal, we're just going out to public comment. But it is a little bit of a, it starts to feel like this thing's a done deal. So I think there was a lot of frustration in the room. Mayor Mendenhall, myself, Mayor Dirk Burton of West Jordan, Mayor Rob Dolly of Holiday, we all said, no, let's stop this now. Let's not find a better solution. Maybe see if the feds will let us use the words Little Cottonwood Canyon Solutions and not get ahead of UDOT right now. It just feels like a disenfranchisement of the public. And I guess the last thing I'll say is every time we reach out to the public, they say no. And there have been groups that have looked at the public comment. It's available online, thousands of comments. A great smart student group went through them. And their calculation is 89% opposed. So I have to ask UDOT and UTA, or not so much UTA, although their member did vote to move it forward, but UDOT and others and elected officials, what do we know that the public doesn't know? They don't want this. Users don't want this. And I'll admit, there's a lot of people that don't have an opinion, but when they learn they're going to pay for it, they say, wait a minute, is this really worth them? Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Well, it is, of course, a great Utah tradition for the public to say, we don't want this, and then for legislators and other entities to say, well, that's okay, but we know better, and we'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
In this Wasatch Front Regional Council thing, to use the old hackneyed phrase, it feels like the camel's nose is under the tent, right? Pretty soon the whole camel's going to be in there.
Right, that's right. And I think, there's a process, and as I really dug deeper, I'm like, what is wrong with the federal environmental impact process when they're requiring something to be listed to reach a final decision when the agency is supposed to be reviewing public comment, really? Yeah. So I just think that, and I think there's a sense like the public should just know exactly how to comment to UDOT because we don't want to hear these comments or that.
They don't know how to do that.
Yeah. And then, it's like me going to a doctor, and I'm supposed to be the specialist who has a 7-year medical education and have been in practice and have all the answers for my doctor. No. The public, and, we're trying to be socially and culturally appropriate. Well, not everyone, has the depth of knowledge, even though they may have opinion, they may love the canyon. So I'm really working hard with a couple of others, Mayor Mendenhall and others, to let the system know that we have to really we should have a bottom-up, not a top-down approach on this.
Mhm.
It's very expensive. There are some operational concerns. Part of me is not blaming UDOT. They have a job to do, but they were
Yeah.
authorized as a road company to make a decision about our environment
Yeah.
and really our heart and soul when it comes to our own experiences, each of us in Little Cottonwood Canyon.
Just quickly, because we're talking about Little Cottonwood Canyon, what's the status of that mining operation they want to do up there? That gravel pit or whatever it's supposed
So
to
that's
be.
Parley's.
That's Parley's.
Oh, that's Parley's. Okay.
And and both Salt Lake County's council for both the gondola and the mine oppose, and I strongly oppose both, of course. So we're working using Salt Lake County resources to stay on top of the mine consideration. We're in the driver's seat where we can, and the council voted to restrict. We don't know if there's going to be an action to try and overturn that. There's a lot of attorneys working. Our county attorney through Sim Gill's office working with us to do what we can to block the mine.
Yeah, but it's still alive, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say today that we've won this battle. It's concerning, and we just have to. We're not going to get more open space, right?
Yeah.
Every step that we take to build, to mine, to do whatever, and I appreciate the legacy of jobs and the great, benefit in the early years to the copper mine, but that thing grows by the minute. And do we really want to have big mines popping up elsewhere at this point?
Well,
And I don't think we do.
Is there anything happening in your office that you're happy with?
What's some?
Yeah,
give us
something
some
that
good
you.
news. Give us
Some good news? Yeah.
I know it's a sad no. Well, we're getting ready for All-Star Game. Brings in a lot of money. Should be fun. Cha-ching, the tickets, of course, but there are a lot of fun things the community can get involved with. We have a library reading program. I just launched a community-wide book club. I'm going to send a book over to you guys. It's Basketball, a Love Story.
Oh, great.
And I picked that book just because the NBA is coming, and it's about the history, good and bad, of the NBA and basketball and college ball and all that. And
then who do we discuss it with? Just anybody?
Anybody who will listen.
Well, I hope you'll join me, and I'll get you more information. But there will be all this is available on my website. But there'll be a special event where we've invited the author. We're still pulling it together, but during the All-Star weekend, we've got a special event to discuss the book.
Excellent.
Mayor Jenny Wilson, Salt Lake County Mayor, thank you so much. Please
Thank you.
careful. Be careful out there. The weather's terrible.
Thank you.
Well, we need the water.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
let's all be careful.
I keep telling myself.
Thank
you, Mayor. All right. Bye-bye. Traffic, please.
Crash northbound I-15 approaching the US 89 split in Farmington. Actually had a text from a friend of the program that says they're dealing with that right now. Weather is an issue this morning. Although I'm not seeing a lot of accidents, so that's good. Looks like some slowage in Parley's Canyon, both going east and westbound I-80. And like I said, coming through Farmington, southbound I-15 into Centerville, there's some slowage there. I had a request from a friend of the program. Please remind people to turn their car lights all the way on. That's helpful. And you want to be seen so nobody runs into you. That's traffic.
All right. Thank you very much. Frank Christ presents They're Fine, They're Just Fine. If you know your dead/live celebrities, you will win this game easily. Frank presents 4 celebrities to you. One of them is dead. You have to determine which one. Easy game to play, easy to win this prize. What do we have?
We have All-Star Monster Trucks returning to Maverick Center on Saturday, February 11th, and we have a 4-pack of tickets.
Monster Truck tickets for you. Easy to win those. 877-602-9696, KXRK Provo.
Utah Talks About Radio from...
There's a chance I won't be here tomorrow, or I won't be here for the whole show tomorrow.
There's a chance.
A chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I don't understand why they do this. I had it explained to me once and I've forgotten. But whenever you have a medical procedure done,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's a major operation or just a minor in-office procedure, but something out of the ordinary,
Yeah.
that and I'm having a procedure tomorrow, which will remain nameless. It's personal, okay? Whenever you have a procedure, they won't tell you anything but the day you're having it. Maybe they'll give you
Sometimes the night before you'll get a call.
Well, that's
and-
what they say.
Yeah.
They say sometimes they'll tell you, okay, we'll schedule it for this date a month from now, and the doctor does his procedures all in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, so what time should I be there? Well, we don't know.
Yeah.
We'll call you the day before.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, so sometime today, I'll get a phone call, and then a lot of times it says on the little sheet that they give you, if we haven't called you by such and such a time, please call us.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know that
Sometimes things fall through the cracks.
That fills you with confidence, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, that sometimes we overlook these things. So sometime today I'll get a phone call. Now I told them that I think the doctor does them. He starts at 8 in the morning,
Mhm.
and he does a bunch of them on the same day. This same procedure
Mm-hmm.
that I'm having. I think there'll be a lineup of people. You know, just next.
Conveyor belt.
Yeah. It's a simple procedure, apparently. The doctor said it takes me 15, 20 minutes.
You don't get knocked all the
No.
way out.
Not,
It's
not at
a-
all, as a matter of fact. You don't get knocked out at all. They numb you up really good, so that takes some time.
Sure.
You know, they give you
Yeah.
lidocaine or whatever it is to make sure that you're numb in all those places that you need to be numb.
Mm-hmm.
And then
My soul. Can I get that in my soul?
and then the doctor said, now we do have an option as well. You can get nitrous oxide, laughing gas,
I'll take it.
if you want. He said, but insurance won't cover that. We got the
Insurance wants you to be in pain.
we got the licensing to do it. Apparently that's a process. Not every.
Mhm.
You can't just get. If you could, I'd get a tank of nitrous at home.
Amen.
But he said we've got the nitrous oxide, but it costs you $100. And then the doctor said, and I would recommend that you pay the money.
$100 is worth being comfortable, or at
Yeah.
least more comfortable.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be my morning, and there's a possibility that maybe they'll say 9 o'clock. So I'll come here
Mm-hmm.
and work and then leave at a certain
Here's
time.
a text. I'm an OR scheduler.
Mm-hmm.
We don't make the schedule until after 3 p.m. the day before because of possible emergency procedures pushing everything else around.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
All right.
But it's the kind of thing that I can drive myself there and drive myself home.
Oh, okay.
So I could just
Can you eat? You can't eat,
Uh,
probably.
a light breakfast.
A light breakfast.
A light breakfast, and please.
Can you have Mill Creek coffee?
Yeah,
Is there?
probably,
Okay. good.
probably, and please wear loose fitting clothing.
Oh yes.
Well, you do anyway, right?
Comfortable, loose, mostly. Comfortable, loose fitting clothes. I think I've had so many procedures that I have a bunch of hospital gowns at home.
Sure.
I'm just going to put the gown on. So I may be wearing.
That'll be
I
fun.
may be wearing a gown. I'll put on boxer shorts.
Oh, okay. I was
But-
going to say they'll be fine for us, not so fine for Katie because your
the
back
back
is
is-
facing her.
Yeah, no, I'll wear the boxer shorts,
Yeah.
so it'll be okay. And then I can drive myself home from the procedure.
The procedure.
Yes. It's personal, okay?
That's okay. Hey, I talked about my hysterectomy all over this radio show. That's not personal. I don't know what is.
Well, should I say it then?
That's up. No, I'm kidding. If you don't feel comfortable talking,
I don't know. It's
You know who has one real testicle?
it's not that.
but it is
Carrie-
down
Carrie-
there.
That's me.
Carrie
Yeah,
has
that's
talked.
me.
Carrie has talked at length about his personal procedures.
Okay, all right, I'll do it. It has to do with the prostate. Now, I don't have prostate cancer or anything like that, but as time goes by, a male prostate, and it happens to every man. Your prostate gets kind
Gravity.
of starts swelling.
Gravity
No,
happens.
it's
No?
more swelling than
Oh.
it just swells.
Gravity affects something else.
Oh.
Those
There's more water in this toilet than
Yeah,
there used to
exactly.
be.
Boy, them things are dangling, ain't they? Yeah, I don't have that problem. So the procedure is, and I think you put it well, Gina, when I was telling you about it this morning. It's like a corset for your prostate.
It kind of shore things up.
Yeah, it just tightens and slims.
Does it lift and separate?
Yeah, it lifts and separates. Kind of. Yeah. Because when your prostate swells up, it starts to press on your bladder, and then that's you have to get up and pee more times in the night and all that. So why am I talking about this on the radio?
No.
Well, you've talked about having your testicle removed. So,
I mean,
you know.
I think privacy has left the building a long time ago.
Yeah, that's true. So my doctor says it'll be about 90 minutes, but the actual procedure is only 15 minutes. But it's numbing you up and all of that stuff. So he says
and you can drive yourself home after.
Yeah, because there's just the local numbing, and then nitrous. It goes away almost immediately.
Okay.
So procedure. Tomorrow is procedure day,
and then you can rest all weekend.
Yeah, and it makes me feel better actually to talk about it because I'm kind of nervous about it.
Sure.
I'm kind of nervous because
anytime you're having anything done, it's
because the way they get to your prostate is
not one bit
not pleasant.
See, I thought they went the other way, but apparently
no.
not.
They go right. They go the shortest route possible.
Okay. As the crow flies, they go
right to. Yep. Right about that dreaded Kanduru.
That was a really inside joke.
Yes. XRK.
Okay.
All right.
So that's now all out in the open, and I didn't intend it to be.
I hope you don't feel like I bullied you into talking.
Well, you did, kind of. I talked about my hysterectomy.
Well, I mean, I did.
I'm not having a hysterectomy. That's all right. Ouch! Yeah, it's not comfortable. I will be uncomfortable for a few days.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Allred, just relax. And here we...
That's exactly what it's like.
Just a few more seconds.
Yeah.
Just another second or two.
I'm in the studio with Frank. Do you feel the cold all the way there?
No, that's one benefit of not being in the studio. I don't have to put on my earmuffs when Frank enters the studio and it gets cold and his music is always really loud.
Yes, but you don't get any of the donuts, though.
That's true.
You can't eat donuts either,
can't
Frank.
eat donuts. No.
Well,
donuts, Frank?
I suppose you could eat them, but they just sort of...
They just fall out.
Fall through the... You see, Frank, for those of you who may not know, he's a reaper, a celebrity soul reaper. Yeah. And he's a skeleton, essentially, he wears a cowl and he has a scythe and an electric scooter, which I applaud because he's environmentally conscious.
I do worry about the planet.
It is ironic though that Frank is charged with collecting the souls of dead celebrities, and he loves them. He almost
I love our celebrities. I don't want to take but it's part of the curse.
And you can hear it in his voice, the pain he suffers when he has to do this. But he likes also to maybe make a game of it.
Well,
so that's, yes?
You know, you gotta smile even though your heart is aching. That whole thing.
Yeah,
so
we'll
I don't
play
have a heart. I have just a rib cage.
You don't have a heart. But you remember what it's like.
I do.
We play a game called Frank Chris Presents.
They're fine. They're just fine.
Where he happily provides us a list of 3 living celebrities. But on that same list, one more, a dead celebrity.
One of them is, I've taken.
Fine. Yeah. So we got a contestant on the phone, and the contestant's job is to figure out which one of these 4 celebrities is no longer with us. Who do we have?
Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay.
Lindsay is here.
Lindsay, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm just fine.
That's fine. What can Lindsay win?
Oh, you still there, Lindsay?
I'm here.
Okay, we've got All-Star Monster Truck returning to Maverick Center Saturday, February 11th with an all-new lineup of the nation's best monster trucks and a free track party before the event with your admission, and I have a 4-pack of tickets to give you for that.
All right. You ready to go, Lindsay?
I'm ready.
All right. These 4 people are all Academy Award winners for Best Director. Best Director of a Motion Picture. Here we go. Number 1, William Friedkin. He directed the crime thriller film The French Connection, which won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay, and, for him, Best Director. And also, he, of course, directed The Exorcist, which earned him a nomination for the Academy Award of Best Director again, although he didn't win. His other films include the drama Boys in the Band, the thriller Sorcerer, the crime comedy drama The Brinks Job, and To Live and Die in L.A. is another of his movies. Number 1 on the list, William Friedkin. Number 2, famous director, Barry Levinson. Levinson best-known works are his comedies and dramas, films like Diner, for instance, The Natural, Good Morning Vietnam, Bugsy, Wag the Dog. He won the Academy Award for Best Director for Rain Man. Number 2, Barry Levinson. Number 3 on the list, Michel Hazanavicius. He is best known for his film The Artist, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture. It also won him the Academy Award for Best Director. He also directed spy film parodies, which no one has ever heard of. Number 3 on the list, Michel Hazanavicius. And number 4 on the list, Anthony Minghella. He won the Academy Award for Best Director for The English Patient. In addition, he received 3 more Academy Award nominations. He didn't win, but 3 more. He was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay, that for The English Patient, and also for The Talented Mr. Ripley. There you go. Number 4 on the list, Anthony Minghella. So, Lindsay, which one of them is not fine?
I'm just going to guess 1.
Number 1, William Friedkin? No, I'm sorry.
He's fine. He's just fine.
Billy Friedkin has been around a long time. He's 87 years old, but he's still with us. Should we give Lindsay another chance?
I think that would be fair, sure.
All right, here we go. Listen carefully.
I mean, I can't use these monster tickets, so somebody's got to win them.
Okay, listen carefully, Lindsay, and see if you can pick it out this time. Is it Barry Levinson, Michel Hazanavicius, or Anthony Minghella?
I'll go with Anthony.
Very good. Anthony Minghella died in 2008 at the age of 54.
Oh, he died young.
Yeah, he was in the hospital. He had an operation to remove cancer on his tonsils and his neck, and he hemorrhaged and died in the hospital. So there you go. Yes, you get the tickets. That Michel Hazanavicius is 55 years old, and Barry Levinson, pretty old too. He's 80. Congratulations, Lindsay. You get the monster truck tickets.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome so much.
Hang on.
You got to have a busy weekend, Frank?
I'm hoping to get some rest this weekend, but James Cromwell is 83 today.
Well, and I mean, William Friedkin is 87.
And he's 87.
Barry Levinson is 80.
Nick Mason from Pink Floyd is 79.
We could have another surprise, a younger
They
surprise.
could be. These things
You think?
happen. Oh.
Do you have someone in mind?
No, it seems like just when we think.
I mean, just when I get comfortable, James at 15. It just happens.
Well, I hope you don't. I hope you don't go for Stretch Cunningham. I have a soft spot.
I think James will be fine. You know, he's been vegetarian most of his life.
Oh, I know.
Vegan most of his life, so he's fine. He's just fine.
All right. Well, Frank, have a nice weekend.
You all have a good weekend, and hopefully I won't see you. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
There he goes. All right.
It's always kind of a relief when he leaves, isn't it?
Agreed.
Because there's always that moment of, well, maybe while he's here, he might get a message. And
he's going to boop me on the nose.
It's when he turns and points to you. That's that's because
it's coming.
Yeah.
Have you seen those commercials? What are they for? There's a Grim Reaper in some commercials on TV I've been seeing, where it's like for drunk driving or something. He tries to hand a drunk some car keys, and It's a really good Reaper.
We'll have to ask Frank which Reaper that
Yeah.
is. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe he works with him.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be a completely different division, though. Who knows? We got big boy news and opinioendo coming up after these. Stand by. It's a special weekend. Here we are to tell you about it. Join us for a weekend of extra.
Hello, kiddies. It's me, your old friend, the bookkeeper. Since this is tax season, I thought you might want to hear a story from the big ledger about filing your taxes. Today's installment concerns the do's and don'ts of claiming deductions. Pay careful attention now, or you may have to pay more later.
Well, Mrs. Johnson, I've looked over your return, and I have a few questions about some of your deductions.
Oh my, is there something wrong?
Well, you've claimed over $9,000 in medical expenses.
That's correct. I have all the receipts right here in this shoebox.
You seem to be in perfect health. Now, some of these procedures seem a bit odd.
Oh?
Spaying,
Yes.
neutering,
Yes.
hairball removal.
Yes.
These are services performed on your cat.
Oh yes, I love cats. I have over 30 of them.
You can't claim your pet's medical expenses.
But they're like family to me.
It's not allowed by the IRS.
Well, could I claim them as a home improvement?
How so?
Well, they keep me toasty warm in the winter. They're like portable space heaters.
I don't think so.
Well, they shed a lot.
So?
Their excess fur helps insulate my house. Better R value than the pink fiberglass stuff.
And no.
Can I claim them as my children?
And no. The government would never overlook you being 80 years old with more than 30 dependents, some of whom are named Buffy, Tabby, and Mr. Boots.
Well, I've made sure they all have Social Security numbers.
Well, why didn't you say so? Sign here. You can expect a hefty refund.
Oh, thank you.
Ms. Smith, send in Mr. Thompson, will you?
Oh,
The guy who wants to deduct his dog as a home security system.
okay.
Well, kiddies, it does pay to keep good records after all. Looks like Mrs. Johnson is in for a windfall. If she can avoid an audit by the IRS, that is. Maybe the nice accountant fellow from S&M Block will go to jail for her. Remember to file on time, and if you need any help with those tricky forms, don't hesitate to ask your old friend, the bookkeeper.
News and Opinioendo now, brought to you by...
Apply now at Lyft Credit for $500 to $5,000 in just 5 minutes at a rate much lower than payday loans. You could even qualify for instant funding. Go to liftcredit.com, liftcredit.com.
Well, Valentine's Day, of course, is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Sometime in February. I don't know.
It's the 14th, like it always is.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Could we talk to the legislature? Because that's on a Tuesday.
You want it on a Friday?
Yeah,
How
last
about
Friday.
the last Friday of
last
February?
Friday of the month. Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
But you know, it's there's this story here that says heart-shaped food brings the romance for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tyson's heart-shaped chicken nuggets does not.
If you gave your wife heart-shaped chicken nuggets for Valentine's Day, that would not bring the romance.
She'd throw me out.
How about for dinner, cow's heart? How about
yeah? How about that?
Although I'll say this on Valentine's Day, speaking of heart, that's Ripley's heart doctor appointment. So we're me and the little girl are
heart-shaped pizzas. This is not romantic.
No.
Britney Spears. There were some more problems
again.
She's asking fans to respect her privacy after police were called to her home. As everyone knows, the police were called to my home based on some prank phone calls, she said. I love and adore my fans, but this time things went too far and my privacy was invaded.
Well, so she deleted her Instagram account, and people got nervous.
Oh,
is Brittany okay? And they called the police, just fans, and said, Brittany deleted her Instagram. Will you go check on her, please?
Seriously?
And they did. They did.
Oh, God, let her delete her Instagram.
Listen, I would hope that people care enough about me that if I deleted my Instagram, that somebody would call.
You don't ever post anything on your Instagram.
I know.
But he deleted it.
Yeah.
That's different.
Stranger Things star David Harbour is a ghost.
A ghost?
With a mysterious past. In the first trailer for the upcoming Netflix comedy We Have a Ghost, starring alongside Anthony Mackie. The first trailer for We Have a Ghost comes courtesy of the streaming giant and teases the mixture of laughs and terror that will no doubt delight audiences when it lands next month. Initial word on it is pretty good. It's pretty good. I watched the David Harbour as the Santa Claus movie. What's it called? I can't remember.
Deadly Night.
Deadly Night. It was okay.
Violent Night.
Violent Night. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It was okay.
You're getting a sequel.
Oh, well.
Because there's so much more to explore. We didn't even touch on Mrs. Santa.
They talked about Mrs. Santa.
They talk about her, but they
Does
didn't.
Mrs. Santa have her own issues?
She's got her own coming.
sure.
So, yeah.
Listen, I'm pretty excited about this. Tensions are high in the Roy family. It means it's time for another season of everybody's favorite dysfunctional family drama, Succession. Season 4 of the Emmy-winning series will follow the Roy children as they play a slow-moving chess game against their father, who secretly sold Waystar Royco at the end of Season 3. As his daughter Shiv exclaims in the trailer, "This is not about getting back at Dad, but if it hurts him, it doesn't bother me a bit."
Now, there's not a redeeming character in this entire show. Not
I don't
one.
think so.
Not even the goofball nephew.
Nope, they're all horrible people.
No,
I love it. I love the show,
But they are the worst people.
My favorite is what's his name, the Shiv's husband.
Oh,
Tom?
Yeah,
I
Tom.
like that actor. I want to see him do some other stuff.
He's been on Downton Abbey or something for
Again,
years and years.
Something I will watch.
Yeah. He's British.
He's British.
Oh, he is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I thought he'd be a good Dr. Doom, but that's me.
He's in the Pride and Prejudice. He's the Mr. Darcy in Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, that's
with Keira
what I was
Knightley.
thinking.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of, not Downton Abbey. But he's just, I think he, in certain ways, is the best actor in that whole show. I just love it. Mick Jagger is launching his own line of harmonicas.
Known harmonica player?
Well, yes. I mean, not. I have seen him play the harmonica. He used to do it fairly often. In a statement, the Rolling Stones frontman called his new collection of Why Now music and Lee Oscar, collaboration with Why Now music and Lee Oscar, as fantastic news, adding that hopefully some of them will get into the hands of young harmonica players who turn out to be legends of the future. He continued, I started to learn harmonica after hearing the great blues, Little Walter and Sonny Boy Williamson. And since then I played, and he's played harmonica on many, many, many of the Rolling Stones
I don't
songs.
think there's harmonica on this, is there?
No, there isn't.
Like, which one are you playing?
I'm playing. I found Just Another Night from his solo album, She's the Boss, and I was just happy to find it because I'm one of the few people who like that album.
I like this song.
Yeah.
He's hungry, Terry.
That's true. He's hungry.
Yeah, I've heard that song too.
Yeah.
That's
And there's that guitar.
That's at the end. Anyway.
Let's see. Pamela Anderson.
Yes.
I caught Jack Nicholson having a threesome at the Playboy Mansion.
Of course you did. Was it a Friday?
Mr. Nicholson.
No,
he's 85 now, Gina. He's
No,
home.
I said, was it a Friday?
Mr. Nicholson had two beautiful women with him, and they were giggling and kissing up against the wall. She said she didn't reveal when the alleged threesome occurred,
30
so we don't
years
know.
ago?
We don't know if it was a Friday. She said, "I tried not to look, but I couldn't help myself." I guess that got him to the finish line because he made a funny noise, smiled, and said, "Thank you, dear," when he saw me looking.
Scott.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I'm kind of. I started feeling very sympathetic toward Pamela Anderson because of that Pam and Tommy movie, but now the stuff that's coming, she's writing in her book, I'm starting to not like her again.
Yeah. Well, I've not changed, so I don't like her.
If anybody wants, everybody wants your email address. It
Yes.
says in the New York Times, think twice before giving it to anybody.
We give it every day.
Yeah.
True.
When you browse the web, an increasing number of sites and apps ask for your email address, and you do it. You hand it over without hesitating. It may seem harmless, but when you enter your email, you're sharing a lot more than just your email. It helps to know why companies want your email address. Just be careful about it, though. Think about it. For instance, I got an email today from, it says it's from Walmart.
Okay.
And it says, I wish I could find it here right off the bat. It says that my Walmart Stay Care account is going to expire unless I give them all of this information.
Nope.
And it looks very, very official.
Don't.
And it says, here, it's action required.
Nope.
There it is. Action required. Walmart would like to remind you that your CareZone account data moved to Walmart Wellness mobile app at the end of 2020. If you don't create a Walmart Wellness account and link it to your CareZone account before January 31st, you will no longer be able to access your data. And then it wants me to download the app, sign in.
Nope.
I have never had a Walmart app of any kind.
No.
Ever. So, yeah, but how many people do that? They'll fill that out and just, okay, whatever. I must have a Walmart.
I probably go too far the other way. I won't even open those those email.
Yeah, I don't.
If I get an email from Walmart, I won't even look at it because
I'm trying to figure out why I did open this one.
It's easy for me because I don't shop at Walmart. So.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what
I think it just opened up as I was, scrolling through my email, and it just automatically opened. But let's see, are we out of time here? We got more time.
One more story.
Let me find you. Oh, I like this one. A kid in Maryland, 9-year-old kid, was searching for shark teeth on a beach.
Okay.
And made, it's a young girl, 9-year-old girl, made an incredible discovery. A 15-million-year-old megalodon tooth.
Oh.
It's huge.
Molly Sampson was out searching for shark teeth on Calvert County cliffs on Christmas Day, which you do find them apparently occasionally. She found a megalodon tooth the size of her hand. I couldn't believe it. It was so exciting, she said. I usually find little shark teeth, but I never could find a big one like that. Sampson took her discovery to the Calvert Marine Museum, where experts confirmed it was an ancient megalodon tooth. Based on where she found it, we estimate that it's 15 million years old. And I guess, I don't know, does she get to keep it? I guess she does.
But you don't have the tooth. You drop the tooth.
Oh, he's quoting from Jaws again.
You don't, but you drop the tooth.
Yeah. But it was it was big. It was,
Big as a shot glass. Huh? Like
So
to prove
you-
that, wouldn't you?
So, Carrie, being the shark expert that you are, based on your watching of Jaws, do sharks shed their teeth? And
Yes, they do quite
and grow
often.
new ones, and then they grow new ones.
Yeah, they grow new ones.
Okay.
This one was as big as a shot glass, Mayor.
Yeah.
But you don't have it, though.
Yeah,
do you?
I'd like to prove
Yeah,
that.
you'd like to
wouldn't
prove that.
Mhm.
This one's as big as a bicycle seat.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, that's it.
All right, weather.
We got snow, and we've got it for the weekend, it looks like. High today of 39. That's as warm as it's going to be for the next, week or so. In fact, we get colder as the weekend goes by. Chance of snow Saturday, Sunday, into Monday. Overnight low Monday night, 8 degrees. Very cold on Monday.
All right.
That is your weather.
Thank you very much. Dinosaur coming up next. You'll find out why.
Speaking of megalodon.
Hello there, kiddies. It's me, your old friend, the bookkeeper. And since this is tax season, I knew you'd be dying to hear another tale from the big ledger. Today's story is about a young working woman who has some rather unusual ideas about filing her taxes. Let's have a listen, shall we?
Come on in, Miss Trixie, isn't it?
Whatever you want it to be, Sugar.
I was finalizing your return, and I came across some items which the IRS might have some questions about.
Well, I filled out the forms the best I could. What more do you need to know?
You've listed your occupation here as working girl. Well, we all work. Could you be a little more specific?
Well, I thought it seemed a bit more polite than prostitute.
Yeah.
I suppose you could change it to hooker, streetwalker, hoe, escort, chicken rancher, whichever's more correct.
Chicken rancher?
Well, I'm pretty good at raising cows.
No! I think that escort might not flag it on it. We'll go with that.
Okay.
Now, you've listed $8,000 in advertising expenses. This seems a bit excessive.
Well, in my business, you can't make any money if you don't get noticed. So I got these.
Yeah.
38 double Ds. What do you think?
They are very nice. You could put those away now. But advertising?
Well, they sure stop traffic.
Well, why don't we list them as capital assets? Then you can depreciate them over time.
Okay.
What about this $25,000 for office improvements? Didn't you say you were a prostitute? What office?
Well, I had to have a new lamp post put in. You know, the old one did a lousy job of showing off my new capital assets.
We'll come back to that. $12,000 in office supplies?
Condoms.
Oh, well, that offers all the questions I have. Do you realize, Miss Trixie, that you could increase the amount of your return if you had your pimp set up a 401k plan for you?
Hey, that's a great idea.
There you have it, creeps. Another great tale from our ledger. Our working girl sure seems to know the tricks of the trade. Remember, keep good records, or you'll end up paying the IRS to screw you.
hoping that Randy from the National History Museum, National History Museum, will come up. Natural, not national.
No, it's
That's
our local
different.
one.
Local, natural.
Yes.
He's come. Well, if he were here, he could correct me.
The Natural History Museum of Utah, they're having
Dino
Fest. Bones to Beasts. And it's Saturday, is that, January 28th, tomorrow, and Sunday. And we could talk to Randy about paleontology.
There he is.
Randy?
He just showed up. There he is.
Hi, Randy. What's your last name, Randy?
Randy Ermis.
And what's your position at the museum?
I am the curator of paleontology and also chief curator, but those are all fancy words. I just like to play in the dirt.
Yeah. Listen, did you hear that story about that girl who found the megalodon tooth on the beach in Maryland?
I did. Yeah.
Now,
very cool.
Yeah, I would just be curious, if you find something like that, does she get to keep that, or does she have to give it up to a museum, or do you know?
It all depends on the land ownership. So I don't know what the laws are where exactly she found it. If it's on private land, then you definitely need the permission of the landowner.
Mm-hmm.
And here in Utah, at least, if it's on state land or federal land, then you actually need a scientific permit to collect any vertebrate fossils.
I see. Well, let's talk about Dino Fest now at the museum tomorrow and Sunday. The paleontologist's dream, I would assume.
Oh, if you love dinosaurs or any ancient life fossils, it is the place to be. We are going to have all sorts of amazing stuff going on.
For instance?
Well, we're bringing in speakers, experts in paleontology from around the country to talk about our theme, From Bones to Beasts, all about the process of paleontology. We are going to have both the fossil preparation lab and the paleontology collections open, which are not normally open to the public. We've brought in all sorts of different, fossil crazy community partners that'll be in our canyon. So it's going to be an amazing weekend.
Now, I don't want to give anything away, but is this when you're going to announce Jurassic Park?
It would be great. I think it's even better than the movies because it's all real. We've got real fossils, real dinosaurs, stuff like that.
The Natural History Museum of Utah, the Rio Tinto Center, it's called, is up there on the University of Utah campus. Beautiful, beautiful facility. It's one of the finest museums in the country. And I've actually been, you've done this before, I think, haven't you? I've been to some event where I got to go back in and watch people working on dinosaur bones and stuff.
That's right, yeah. It's an annual event, so this is the only weekend this year you can do this. So if you don't come this weekend, you'll have to wait until next year.
What I really like, too, and I think it's always there at the Natural History Museum, is the world's largest display of horned dinosaur skulls, the Ceratopsian
really
wall.
Cool. Really cool.
It's so cool to see that. It's just amazing. How many are there?
Oh, of course you're going to ask me that question. I think it's about 15, but I could be off by one or two.
That seems right.
And yeah, I love it. Beyond looking like a great trophy wall, it really gives you a sense of the diversity of all the horns and ornaments on these animals.
They're kind of evil looking.
No, they're not. They're nice.
They are. They look like demons or something.
You think everything's a demon.
No,
well,
I
this
don't.
is radio from hell, so
Yes, that's true. Randy, now, so you'll be giving talks, I assume, as well, and guiding people around.
I'm sort of the ringleader for the speakers, so I'll be introducing the speakers. But I've given talks some years, but we really like to bring in people who you wouldn't normally hear from here at the museum from other places.
So it's Dino Fest. It's Saturday and Sunday, and it's at the Natural History Museum of Utah, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's not very much to get. Now, I'm a founding member, so I can get into this event for free. But how much are the tickets if you're not a member?
So it's the same as a regular price admission. So you get everything with a regular admission. There's no upcharges or anything like that.
So,
excellent.
So Randy, here's a question, and it's something that have always been curious about, but here it is on your press release.
Oh,
how do paleontologists get just a few bones, and they're able to tell me, here's what this dinosaur looked like. He had feathers, all of this information with just like a hand, some bones.
Just a few, yeah.
Instead of the
well,
whole.
You'll have to come to DinoFest to find out.
Oh.
No, I'm. That is a big part of what we'll be talking about, but a lot of it is relying on identifying what type of animal it is and who its closest relatives might be. And so even if we don't have a lot of the bones, if we can tell at least what group of dinosaur it belonged to, then we can make some informed guesses based on related animals that are more complete.
When did they figure out that, when did they figure out that dinosaurs actually had feathers and leathery skin like a reptile? And did all dinosaurs have feathers?
Great questions. We really sort of reached consensus that a lot of dinosaurs, at least most meat-eating dinosaurs, had feathers based on some discoveries that started to be made in China in the mid-1990s. But paleontologists had already come to the conclusion that dinosaurs had that birds had evolved from dinosaurs, meat-eating dinosaurs, and so there was already sort of the guess that probably some of the closest bird relatives had feathers as well. Not all dinosaurs had feathers. We know that a lot of the large plant-eating dinosaurs had scaly skin.
Oh, okay. But they found fossil evidence of feathers, right? And in China.
Yes. So we've got these amazing skeletons with feather impressions, but in terms of the scaly skin, you can come to our Past Worlds Gallery and actually see real skin impressions from duck-billed dinosaurs.
Oh, cool. Randy, thanks a lot. It's DinoFest at the Natural History Museum of Utah, Saturday and Sunday. Just go there. It's great. Thanks, Randy.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, and I look forward to seeing everyone this weekend.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Thank you. Good luck. We'll crawl towards the exits with Boner of the Week after these. Radio from Hell here, and we wanted to thank...
We did something this Thanksgiving that was that I don't think we've ever done before. We went out of town to have Thanksgiving dinner. Before we'd always go to grandmas or mother-in-laws or whatever, but these people pass on, and they kind of
new traditions need to be.
You lose that anchor, and it just kind of. So somebody in my wife's family suggested, why don't we rent a condo up at Bear Lake? I heard there are these new condos up there that are really nice. It's a place called Water Dance, and they are very nice. And we'll go up there on Wednesday. Then each person will be responsible for some portion of the Thanksgiving dinner.
All right.
So my wife was assigned the Brussels sprouts. My son made the mashed potatoes and gravy.
All right.
Well, actually, I made the turkey stock for the gravy. And my daughter baked 2 pies. And let's see. But Uncle Todd was in charge of the turkey.
That's the main event.
Yeah. So a few days before we were set to go up to Bear Lake, my wife comes home. She said, Uncle Todd's got the turkey all in hand. I said, oh, good. She said, yeah, he's got about 4 dozen turkey legs. I said, what? He says he's going to do turkey's expensive this year, so he got these turkey legs.
Only doing turkey legs.
Yeah, got these turkey legs. They were on sale. It was a real good deal at Lucky's, and so we're going to just have turkey legs. And I said, people don't like dark meat mostly. Now I like it.
It's my favorite.
I like it, but most people don't. That's why they breed turkeys with giant breasts, because most people like the white meat.
It ain't natural.
And so I said, I'm buying a turkey breast to take up there, which I did, and I'll cook it. I'll roast it. Which the oven was full of Uncle Todd's turkey legs, and so I had to. I thought, what am I going to do? Oh, there's a grill outside. I'll just put the grill pan and use it like an oven. Use the grill like an oven, and I did that. It worked out great.
Good.
Uncle Todd's turkey legs were inedible.
What happened? Did he overcook them or something?
No, he undercooked them.
Undercooked.
I think they weren't raw. No, they weren't raw, but they were like rubber. These rubbery, and I felt really bad for him. He was like, oh, geez. But I saved Thanksgiving. The turkey breast.
Was there enough for everybody?
Yes. Yeah, there were 10 of us, and there was still some left over.
Really?
Turkey breasts are big, Gina. There was a lot of turkey on it, and so I saved Thanksgiving.
Did they toast you, Bill?
Well,
to Bill Allred.
But Uncle Todd even said, I got to admit, you saved Thanksgiving. As a matter of fact, I think he was the first one to say it. But he still had these turkey legs, some of which he hadn't yet cooked because they were huge to begin with. And he said, I don't know what went wrong with these. I just don't understand it. I said, well, I think what you need to do is cook them on a low temperature, very slow. Just let them, just cook the crap out of them. And I think, he said, well, I'm going to try it with the rest of them that are left over. Took my advice, put them in there. They came out perfect. And they were good. The dark turkey meat on there was good. But I saved Thanksgiving, and I was
a hero.
I was a hero, the hero of Thanksgiving.
Well, I just want to let you know that the Hallmark Channel is looking to get in touch with your people so they can make a movie.
The Hero of Thanksgiving.
The Hero of Thanksgiving. That's a working title. We'll workshop it, but.
Aunt Julie's stuffing, or dressing if you prefer to call it that, was delicious, and the yams were delicious, and it was a good meal all in all, and way too much, of course, and pies and rolls and all of that.
Carrie,
Well, Sue cooked for just the two of us. I told her that she didn't have to, that we could get some kind of a takeout thing, but she hadn't done it in a while, and she wanted to, and everything was delicious and wonderful. She made the mistake of telling me how easy this stuffing recipe was.
You mean you could make this all the time?
I thought there was some, oh no, that took me no time at all.
Not much to it, really.
And
butter and turkey stock or chicken stock.
And this one had mandarin oranges in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, did she cook a turkey?
No, we did chicken. Yeah, it was absolutely delicious. But she did make that mistake. I know now how easy it is to make that stuffing, and now I'm just going to start asking for it on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
Because she'll make a big batch, and then it'll last for a week and a half.
Yeah.
And then
I can't quite feature mandarin oranges in it.
I couldn't either. I saw them in there, and I went.
I can get it because some people put cranberries in, so it kind of
it
like
worked.
that.
It worked. It was delicious.
Some people put oysters in stuff.
It was bread and sausage and a bunch of other stuff, and the mandarin oranges. Delish.
Well, now I want to try it. Send me the recipe. I'd like to try it.
I don't know if there is a recipe.
You think she just made it
I think
up?
she just threw it down. I don't know. I'll ask her. But we're just getting notice again from the Hallmark Channel. I think the working title that we have now is Thank Bill Day.
Oh.
Thanks Billings Day?
Mm.
I don't know. They're still working on it.
They got to workshop that.
But it'll be a movie.
Well, coming up, tell you about my Thanksgiving.
Was it as wonderful as ours?
Coming up, I will tell you about my Thanksgiving.
I have the feeling there was a problem.
It's an issue. It is 9:52 right now. How is everyone?
Ready for the weekend.
Just great. Just great.
Just a few more minutes, Bill. We're just going to do Boner of the Week, and then we can get out of here.
Oh, that must mean Dave is in the studio.
Yep.
I knew you were there. Dave the flower guy. How are you?
Fine.
Dave was just telling us that he's got a lot of roses for sale for Valentine's Day.
When will you have them available? You don't have them yet. Thursday before.
Thursday before Valentine's.
Yeah, because Valentine's Day's on a Tuesday, and like Dave was saying, you want to have them Thursday, Friday.
So that would be the 9th.
Yeah.
9th.
What's the best way for people to get them from you, to buy them from you?
Just find me around town.
Yeah.
Downtown Salt Lake.
Downtown Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Anywhere between this building and Boostique, for sure.
Dave, the little flower boy, as he goes around town selling roses, and you got really nice roses for a good price, right?
Right.
All right. Okay. You ready to do Boner of the Week?
Yeah.
Here we go. The winner from Monday. Oh, I don't know some of these, do I? Yeah.
No.
Because I was actually too sick to be on.
Gina can explain them to you if you'd like.
How about number one, Gina? I'm not as think as you drunk I am.
Oh, this is a woman pulled over for drunk driving, and she told the cops, she said, "Don't worry, I'll call my friend. She'll come pick me up." And it was the friend that she was drinking with. Yep. And the friend showed up just as drunk as she was, and they both went to jail.
Excellent. Number two, saying the quiet part out loud.
This is the voucher thing. With the lobbyist that was caught on tape.
Allison Sorensen, who said, "I can't say this is a recall of public education, even though I want to destroy public education. I can't say that."
And that didn't pause anybody on the legislature. Not for a second. Jeez.
Number three from Wednesday, leave the queens alone. Oh, there's a follow-up to this.
Oh, what's that?
So this is the Proud Boys here in Salt Lake.
Yes.
Demonstrating outside of
the tea place.
Tivana, is that what it's called? In Sugar House, because they have a weekly drag event there. Mm-hmm. I believe I read that Tivana is canceling those.
Really?
Well, they said they're going to pause them for a while because it's dangerous.
Yeah. Number four from Thursday, Jesse, tell him no vasectomy, no more sex. That's Jesse James Decker, country singer. Her husband, they have 3 kids. She says to her husband, would you get a vasectomy, please? No, it'll hurt my manhood. I'm not gonna do that. Mm-hmm. And boner candidate number 5 from today, if you love me, you'll give me all your money. A woman scamming a poor old 85-year-old Holocaust survivor to the tune of $2.8 million. Pretty much took everything he had. So which one's the worst, Dave?
Today.
Wow.
The scammer. All right.
Okay. What's your boner of the week for this week?
Peaches Sturgo was her name.
Peaches?
Peaches.
You shouldn't trust a woman named Peaches.
No.
Now, Bill.
Walking on the beaches.
I've got here, Jimmy left some
Jimmy
of these,
Santangelo.
Yeah, some of these
premixed
cocktails. On the rocks is what they're called.
Uh-huh.
These are both old fashions. There's a big one and a small one.
What are you even asking for?
Okay,
I mean, which one do you think I want?
Well, it's still dry January, and we thought maybe you were still participating.
I'll take the small one.
Well, thank you.
You're
not participating because of the hot toddy situation, right? So.
I'm going to drop this by, and Katie, if there's any donuts left over, I'll take him a donut too.
Take him a donut.
I've actually been drinking your husband Joe's recipe hot toddy.
Aren't they good?
Yeah. It's, you know what? The secret ingredient is the cardamom.
Doesn't it make it? It makes a difference.
Now, has it been loosening anything in your lungs?
Yeah, it really does. It does help a lot.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And it gets you drunk.
So you don't care that you're sick.
Take a nice steam.
Yep.
I think you'll be back here in the studio Monday.
I'm betting Tuesday.
Oh, you think?
Well, I think he should take Monday. I think he should. Just, to just make sure. Get it all out.
That's intuition?
It's just my gut, yeah.
Okay. Well,
I just think you need to make a few more Kumamotos.
Carrie just wants you to get it, literally get it all out of your system.
Hawk up a couple more blue points, and then...
All right.
Yeah, come on in. All right. I think we're good, right?
Mm-hmm. Thanks for being patient with me,
Of course.
We got all business, Katie? All right. Fine job as always, Katie. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Do you not know who I am?
Don't trust a woman named Peaches.
Yes. Marcy is next.